All right, everybody, welcome to the first inaugural Moist Cast. Don't look at your glass as being half empty. Look at it as being half full, and we're going to fill the rest of it with pure moisture tonight. So, welcome aboard and get moist. I am the one, the wet one, the one that's wet 24/7 in a good way, the moist. From the comment section of World Class Bullshitters to your screen, I like to welcome you to my channel. Um, how I got to become the moist was on episode 127, I think, of World Class Bullshitters. I basically hijacked the comment section and hopefully I made them a lot of money. I think I did that night in super chats. And the legend of the moist was born, and we finally have decided to take this thing live from my end and host a moist cast. And joining me tonight on the moist cast is the one, the only super fan Adam Shawhan.
Hello, I am here.
We also have with us proper Jeremy,
Robert Jeremy is in the house. Thanks for inviting me, Brandon.
and we also have the legendary DJD Show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Brandon Moist Show, where moisture is on. Hey, have a fun time.
All right, so welcome aboard, folks, once again. And so the big thing that we're going to talk about here tonight is Star Wars, and that's going to be a consistent theme of what we're talking about, especially leading up to Episode 9 coming out in December of 2019, almost a year from now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you my first experience with The Last Jedi. Now, The Force Awakens, when it came out, I didn't necessarily hate it. I was kind of indifferent, like, oh, that was cool. I was sold on the nostalgia, which I think a lot of people were. The Last Jedi, I had no idea what to expect. When I went into that movie, I went with a very good friend from school, and she was in a very difficult time. She recently had a family member pass away about a month prior that was very close to her. So it was kind of an escape for her and myself, being both huge Star Wars fans. We went to an IMAX theater outside of DC at midnight and saw the movie. During the movie itself, I was kind of bored for most of it. And then from there, when we left the theater, we started talking about, oh, this part was pretty cool. This part was awesome. But I was so split on what I was saying was awesome. I was like, oh, yeah, the throne room duel, that was cool. But then when I thought about it more, I was just like, parts of that didn't make sense. So the next day, I went and saw it again. And pretty much the same thing. I was just like, okay, I don't know. I shouldn't feel like this about a Star Wars movie. So I let it sit for a week, and then I went and saw it again. So I gave Disney my money 3 times in a row. So that's like, I don't know, $30 or whatever for me. So bad mistake on my part in hindsight. But the movie left me with a void, and that void really wasn't filled until I watched Ethan Van Sciver's original Last Jedi review that got taken down. So I was one of the lucky ones to get him or to get to hear him rant about it. And from there, I found Geeks and Gamers with Jeremy, and I saw World Class Bullshitters and all the Star Wars toys videos that they put out. And I completely agreed. I found myself agreeing, and I'm like, I found my home. And eventually, the Moist was born out of that. But so with proper Jeremy, Adam, and DJD show, what do you guys remember about when you first saw The Last Jedi, whether it be in theaters or if you watched it just stumbled across it on Netflix for your first time. And also, shout out Open Minded Movie Fan. Thank you for joining us. Proper
I guess I'll start. Pretty much, I remember being watching the film. The second he tossed the lightsaber, I was kind of pissed off. Hopefully, foul language is allowed, but since
Oh,
world class bullshitters kind of spawned you, I think everything's fine there.
yeah, no, we're good. Yeah.
So pretty much, the movie goes. And there's more fun, sane crap, and the point at which it takes, I think, most people out of the movie theater, and you go, okay, this film's just crazy. Is when Mary Poppins happens, Space Poppins with Leia. That's the point at which you go, okay, this film is just full on BS. This can't be a Star Wars film. Am I seeing this? So from there on, I'm in full hostile mode towards this film. Then it gets to the fight, the big fight with, Hamill versus Kylo dipshit, and you're like, yay, finally, and it's 2 strokes. The fight is 2 strokes and it's over. That's it.
And they didn't even I mean, they didn't even legitly cross streams. They didn't even hit streams, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
it's all an illusion.
They took a note from Ghostbusters. Don't cross the streams. But they took it from the wrong movie.
And then after that, how the film ends, I haven't been this pissed off since it's my own personal pet peeve. Like I said, The Matrix, how The Matrix ended, when I did a double take looking at the screen going, are you fucking me? Is that how you're going to end this shit? In similar fashion, Mark Hamill may be dead or whatever in the world is going on there. And the way that film ends, I did a double take at the end. It had been a long time since I've been that pissed off at the end of a film. You know, expectation going in versus what we actually fucking saw. And bam. Just bam. So from that point, immediately that day, I didn't have to wait to get to YouTube to find out I'm pissed off. No, right then and there, I was pissed. So did I make a video about it? No, but I sure bitched about it on my goddamn blog on Tumblr. So it was like, fuck you, fuck you. I don't know if I said anything on Twitter, but I was like, then eventually, you know, found interesting people on the YouTubes. But even before that, I was already pissed. And I was like, God dang.
Yeah, no.
Yes, I don't know where it began. I think it may have been Midnight Sedge, or could have been World Class Bullshitters at the start, but from there it led to everyone else pretty much.
Yeah, no, and I think that's the case for a lot of us here. And Open-Minded in the chat here, Open-Minded said he saw it 3 times as well, and he enjoyed Mark Hamill's acting. I as well. I
Mark Hamill was fine. It's everyone else. It was the actual story and everything that just I couldn't believe it. It was so bad.
Yeah, and Laura, it's a short story. Also, thank you for joining us tonight. And I see you're working and lurking, so hopefully we'll make your work time a lot more enjoyable tonight. And Mr. Pete, he is on here. He is in the chat. Welcome, Mr. Pete Chan.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Pete? Hey, what's up, Laura?
All right, so Proper Jeremy,
can you
get your thoughts on when you first saw The Last Jedi? Like, as you were watching it, what do you think? When you were what was going through your mind, and then when you left the theater, what were you feeling? Were you feeling that same void?
Okay, so when I saw it the first time, my dad and my uncle, I had just graduated college, and my dad, my uncle, and I, we've all been drinking. My dad had to get sent home. He got us kicked out of Roosters. So we, you know, and then my uncle and I were just like, well, he's got an Uber back home. We're just going to go see The Last Jedi, because I had been wanting to see it forever. I wasn't able to the last couple days because it was the Sunday, and then we went in, and I was watching it. I was just really confused at what was going on, like really confused. I was like, what the hell's going on? And I think the moment that really threw me off was, you know, when Luke tossed the saber off his shoulder, and when Hux had the, you know, your mom jokes and all that. It started off weird, and it didn't get any better. And I'm just like, is this me, or is this like the alcohol? Like, it wasn't the alcohol. It was the movie. Like, well, I left the theater, you know, by that time, and I was just like, what the hell did I just see? And then I went to see it with my kid brother and my friend a couple days later, and I knew what was going to happen. I turned to my friend. I was just like when the flying Leia happened, that wonderful moment that DJD kindly highlighted, and I looked over at my little brother, and he was just in shock, just like, what is going on? Like, that took everyone out of the movie, even my little brother, who liked the movie for some reason. But it was just so weird, and just, I think that's, even people who like The Last Jedi are just like, what the hell was that? But I mean, I don't know, where do I start? You know, I didn't even know like what the deal was with the Canto Bite scenes, you know, the kids, all of this madness that's going on. You know, it didn't feel coherent in my head, and it's probably not coming out coherently, because I don't know. Like, I've only seen it a few times, but the last time I saw it, I fell asleep.
Yeah.
But oh my god, I don't even know.
Also, I feel like if we want to do a little challenge on here, the Moist Cast, the Moist would be willing to go to Barnes and Noble and go to the Star Wars section and get the Canto Bight novel. There is an entire novel.
What?
Canto Bight.
Oh my
I
God.
would be willing, for the sake of the channel and for the sake of the fandom, to attempt to read it. I never said finish it. And give my thoughts on Canto Bight, and also just see it's basically, I mean, I don't really need to prove anything with it. We all know what it is. It's a parody, or it's a, it depicts the upper class depressing the lower class and things like that. It's clearly shoved in your face exactly what it is. But aside from that, I say super fan Adam Shawhan. I'm anxious to hear this. I feel like you have a lot of good hot takes on this. So take it away here and let me know what were your thoughts seeing the movie and leaving the film.
Oh, the Moist. Let me tell you. So buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride, boys and girls, because this shit's going to have nuts in it.
Make sure you got lids on all your drinks. Can't get moisture too everywhere.
But no, so I may or may not allegedly have seen it off of a Cody box first, and it was in Spanish, which I do not speak. So I loved the movie the first time I saw it, minus the Mary Poppins Leia scene with a person who has never used the Force at all, other than to go, he wasn't on there. All right, fine, not a problem. But when you're using your own imagination on what's being said, okay, it was kind of entertaining, extremely confusing, but I had a couple questions. Then I went ahead and saw it. Well, hell, I think I waited until World Class Bullshitters did their commentary. Is when I actually watched it in English, so I could actually understand it. And I watched it with them because, well, that's a whole lot of fun when you're doing it with friends. And that's when you put the pieces together to really realize how awful the movie is. Before that, though, I didn't even see The Force Awakens until about a month before the last abortion came out.
Yeah.
So I waited quite a while to see all of these because I'm kind of old school and I really didn't care at all about these movies, knowing that this was not anything to do with what Lucas had originally wrote. I saw A New Hope at the drive-in. So, like I said, I'm a little bit older than everybody else here, with the exception of the 9,000-year-old vampire that is with us. But yeah, I just couldn't believe it. The Canto Bight scene, we didn't need any of that. I like the idea of an older Luke, but not bitch boy Luke. I could have really done without that. The man who redeems his father and saves the universe, then runs off like a crybaby bitch and does nothing after all of his students are slaughtered. That's not the Luke that we know, hashtag not my Luke. But yeah, it could have been done a lot better. We all were excited that Disney was taking over and thought they would do something really, really good with it. And personally, I'm not impressed with anything they've done. But as for The Last Jedi, I could have done without it. We joked when Yoda popped up with the lightning and said, why Yoda's in this movie? Because money.
Yeah,
them member berries.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's a very great point.
Yeah,
the nostalgia berries. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say the whole Yoda. I mean, the Yoda scene was probably my favorite in the entire movie for The Last Jedi, just because they didn't I feel like they didn't really character assassinate Yoda at all. And that's what I was most concerned about whenever I knew Frank Oz, like whenever he was listed and he was seen on the red carpet. I'm like, Yoda's in this thing. Just please don't do anything to destroy him with whatever happens. But yeah,
that was probably like the least offensive scene in the movie. Like you can complain all you want about the Force lightning and everything, but I thought it was just fine. It was great to see Frank Oz return.
Oh, it wasn't nothing to complain about. It was fucking hilarious. A Force ghost with Force lightning, because why? Well, because Mickey says so. That's why. Yeah. But
the Force says so.
It was funny.
The Force
it was
lightning
hilarious.
says so.
especially when you don't know what he's saying. Remember, I saw it in Spanish, and I don't speak a lick of Spanish other than cuss words. So I had no idea what he was saying. Now, when I actually heard what he said, okay, it made a little bit more sense other than taco, 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 burrito, burrito, chalupa, because that's all I heard. And then
What?
you know,
Damn. All right.
Sí, señor. Sí.
All
Yes.
right. Let's get this PC out of the way. Fuck this. It's all...
Voy a hacer un poco de palpatín en español. Sí. Force lightning pat culo.
sí,
Sí.
señor. But you know, I mean,
Let's
in
get
all
That's
reality,
Force lightning in Spanish. Enjoy.
yep. But yeah, I mean, and thank you, by the way, DJD. DJD is a very good dear friend of mine, and you know, I am not a racist, even though I'll be told I am because I am white, but that's all right.
Yeah, that's called joking, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
It's
Yep.
okay.
It's a joke.
Yep, I am not a racist. Some of my best friends are white.
That's right. But I enjoyed. Like I said, the way I enjoyed it was the fact I didn't understand what the hell they said. So I'm like, okay, great. Go back and watch in the language you don't understand. I mean, it kind of is ruined because you kind of already know what's happened, but it'll kind of blow your mind when you have to use your own imagination.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I mean, I watched when I lived in Jordan a couple years ago. I was living and I was still learning Arabic and couldn't speak it very well. But whenever I'd come home from class every day, my host family would be watching Bollywood dramas dubbed in Syrian dialect Arabic, which I didn't speak very well. So I was watching this and I was like, okay, I'm picking up like the gist of what's going on here, but I could kind of make the dialogue up in my head of like what's going on. And that made it a lot more enjoyable. Now, as the summer that I lived there progressed and I learned more and more, I'm just like, oh, okay. I wish I did know what they were saying now. But no, I could see that whenever you don't understand and you're watching a film in a different language, like you can kind of have that creative experience within your own head and fill in for what could be complete plot holes, and of which The Last Jedi has numerous.
Well, I enjoyed the film, you know, just the aspect of the film, you know, not the dialogue, not what, you know, crap they're telling me. Visually, it's a decent visual movie, minus when, you know, Ray should have been shanked in the back, but hey,
Yeah.
whatever. It happens. You know, Luke disappears and I don't hear a clank from a metal hand. Are you serious now? Okay, whatever. When you're sitting there watching the two, Kylo and Luke fight, not understanding what's being said between the two of them, you know, it was pretty damn funny. And then you're watching the fight and then he disappears and you're just like, okay, gotcha. But I was completely confused because I'm not understanding what him and Ray, you know, and Luke are saying other than when he yells and then the hut explodes and, you know. So, yeah, I mean, it literally was a completely different movie when you don't understand anything that's going on other than what's in your own head. And to watch a film, you know, like the old school silent films, you know, you get to enjoy literally the video. And then, of course, you could read the cards and understand what was going on. I just didn't have that. But,
Right.
you know, I wasn't surprised, really, I guess, because, like I said, Rogue One was okay to me. I didn't hate Rogue One.
Yeah, the last act of Rogue One, I absolutely adore it. I love it. The last
Yes, you give me 3 hours of Vader slaughtering people, hell's yeah, I'm in. But it filled in A New Hope. We never knew why. We didn't give a shit, by the way, but we never knew why there was a flaw in the Death Star. This lets you know they kidnapped my daughter. Or they kidnapped me away from my kid and said I'll never see her again unless I do this. So I put a flaw in it. Did we need it? No, because I come from the 70s and we had the thing called, once again, your imagination. You knew what the Kessel Run was and that the Millennium Falcon was a fast ship because it outran the Corellian cruisers. You didn't know what the fuck a Corellian cruiser was, but you knew it had to be a fast ship just based off that little bit of dialogue. And that's it. We lived, breathed Star Wars our entire life. That was, you know, as a kid, that was the coolest thing ever. And, you know, my kids are your age, so you bet your ass I took them to see all of the prequels, you know, and they loved it. And the coolest thing was when, you know, after the THX and they did the special effects, hey, boom, the originals were back in theaters. And then, you know, they did kind of kind of ruin them with the special shit they did to them. But hey, it was still nice to see it up on the theater again. But Rogue One at least made a little bit of sense in the aspect of it wasn't needed, but everybody died, because thank God that made so much more sense, because they weren't needed. But it gave you a reason that the Death Star had a flaw, and you got to see Vader be a badass, even though in A New Hope, when he's fighting Obi-Wan, obviously it's the 70s and there was no CGI, and you're looking at something that's hilariously funny when you watch it, especially drunk. You did get to see a kick-ass Vader, you know.
And I also, what I think here, and I think we got a good point here, and something that Proper Jeremy and DJD can also elaborate on here. With looking at Rogue One, and we're seeing this badass Vader scene, and seeing how ruthless, like we finally saw in a Star Wars movie, how ruthless Vader can be. Yeah, we saw in Episode 3 with the younglings, but we didn't really see it. Like, you know, okay, he turns the lightsaber on, the kids look horrified, and then they're dead. And you see the hologram in the Jedi Temple that Obi-Wan can't watch anymore. So we see that, but really it's not graphic. It's not like in-your-face violence like that. It's kind of like a subliminal. It's like it's hinted on, like this is what happened. In the comics, you see it, but in film, you find it like that was the defining moment. You got to finally see why Vader is so feared amongst the rebels, and
that was a reshoot.
Yeah, exactly. It was, but here's leading into The Last Jedi. So the Rogue One, we see that the last scene that people remember from a Star Wars movie, if they hadn't watched anything else before The Last Jedi, is Darth Vader kicking ass, being an evil ass villain, and then they see Princess Leia, you know, saying hope. But when we go to The Last Jedi, you have Luke Skywalker, a bum who lost faith in everything, who was able to bring the good out of the guy that we had just seen killing rebels like absolutely crazy and just absolutely slaughtering them. The guy that he held against the freaking ceiling and cut him in half, awesome. Luke Skywalker saw good in him. And the fact that you're telling me that Luke Skywalker can't see good in Kylo Ren or just give up hope when Kylo Ren has no previous history of dark side acts or crimes is just mind-blowing to me.
You know, because of like some snake or whatever. I didn't get that either. That was really weird. But yeah, I mean, that's just
Ryan Johnson writing it, so you know it's pure evil crap.
Exactly.
That makes no sense. If you look back on one of his interviews, he even admits, "Oh, I'm a shitty writer," and links were in the description in one of my previous videos, so you can go check it out there for the facts. But he admits himself, "I am a shit writer. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Hey, thank you for all my money. Yay!"
Yeah, exactly.
Enjoy The Last Jedi.
Now it seems as though
Roundhead has no Johnson. Yes, go ahead, Proper.
That was a good one. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's a fine director visually. He's great at bringing a story to life, clearly. And, you know, I didn't think Looper was all that bad. I didn't think his movie before that, I don't remember what it was called, but I heard great things about that. And it was just kind of disappointing to just, he probably shouldn't have written it. I would have rather JJ have written it and then he directed instead. I think that might have been a little better. Also, we would have had JJ have his entire trilogy. It should have been his trilogy, to be perfectly honest, because I'm not one of those people who hates The Force Awakens. But, you know, I think Ryan Johnson is not a bad director, clearly, but he's a shit writer. He's horrible. And he doesn't even, if he does that and he can't even make sense of it, then how is the audience supposed to make sense of it? And also, like he mentioned in one of those videos that he loves seeing that split reaction of people absolutely loving it and absolutely hating it. Well, you got what you want, man. Yeah. Are you happy? You happy? You ruined the franchise. Thank you.
Exactly. I remember exactly reading that. And I remember at work talking to someone and saying in the break room, like, hey, you know, I just read on Twitter that the director of this and the writer thinks that it's going to divide the fandom. Like, you're either going to love this movie, you're going to hate it. And then at the time, I'm just like, okay, that's a unique take because we might see something like completely new, which I'm like, okay, I was open to like what a different kind of Star Wars, but as long as it paid homage to the canon that was already established by George Lucas. And but then I also, like, in hindsight, when I think about that, the fact that you're trying that is from a business standpoint, you're saying, okay, I want half of my customers that come into my store to be pleased and to be able to find the product they're looking for. I want the other half to come in here and not even be able to use the fucking bathroom. It's like, it's like, what you're going to lose half of your base that you could make money off of. And I think what we saw and what we did see with Solo, like that, honestly, I mean, Solo to me, it's an average movie. Like, I don't hate it, I don't love it. If it's on, I'll watch it. I'm not gonna like go out of my way. But the fact that Solo had such a shitty, such a shitty reception, I feel is because of The Last Jedi, and the fact that the fandom was split because of that movie and because of Rian Johnson's vision of, I want to have a very divisive Star Wars movie. But whenever you look at Star Wars in historical context, it's something that brings people together. And when you look back at the original trilogy, the prequels, it is a diverse universe that a lot of people can sympathize with all these characters. No matter from what walk of life you're from, you can find something in these films to sympathize with.
And then you just take it away from them.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel if they would have given, Roundhead Has No Johnson his trilogy away from this, maybe it would have been okay. Because I don't really care for the fella, but I'll give him credit. Yeah, it might have been okay. To me, Solo is a fine sci-fi movie. It's not a Star Wars movie, but as for sci-fi, it was not bad. As for Star Wars, it was complete dog shit. And believe me, I know about dog shit. So
yes,
just
little rim shot there.
The 18 wiener dogs.
That's right. When you have a wiener dog clan, my friend, you know about the dog feces. But
infinite dog feces.
It literally was not that it was a bad movie, but it's a horrible Star Wars movie that we did not need. You're Han Solo. Oh, well, what's your last name? I don't have one. Who are your people? I don't have any. Okay, you're Solo. Oh, get the fuck out of here. My dogs could write better. Okay.
Yes. I try to forget I ever saw that film.
Right. I don't know.
Decent job of it.
I say go see it. Anybody can go see it. But to me, it's just not a Star Wars movie. It's just a sci-fi movie. A standalone, fine. Not a problem. Star Wars, oh, hell no.
I'm so sad that Han Solo was in the movie. I'm very sad about that.
I think the actor was kind of garbage. He's like, oh, well, he's trying to be like Harrison Ford. Well, he's not like Harrison Ford. They shouldn't have tried to do any of that shit. But hey, it is what it is. It's Hollywood. They're going to do what they want. I do feel if JJ would have done all 3 movies, that'd have been great. But KK fired him. Then they bring in Johnson. And look, if I'm getting money to make a movie and DJ's getting money and Proper's getting money and Moist is getting money, and they say, hey, we want you to do this, this, and this. And we go, but wait, this isn't what Luke Skywalker would have done. And they're going to say, we don't give a shit, either do it or we're going to hire somebody else that will. And that's what Roundhead was, somebody that would do it. Luke bitched about it, or I'm sorry, Mark Hamill, Mr. Camel Man did complain about it. But at the end of the day, it's a paycheck. He's an actor.
Yeah.
So
money here. I'm using my money. I'm building my own reservoir. I mean, I need as much moisture as possible.
Yes.
We will fund the moist reservoir.
I don't know if you guys have played Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes.
You've probably heard about it. If you're not, if you haven't played it,
yeah.
There's a part in the game in Lemoyne, in the southern state. It's basically Louisiana. It's very swampy. That is my go-to. I own the swamp.
Nice.
It just literally, it virtually drew me to it.
Thought you were going to talk about the one guy who got the one guy who got banned from YouTube because he killed the woman's suffragette.
I was honestly thinking about I have a couple of Red Dead articles that I want to bring up. I was thinking about because I'm planning on probably going live tomorrow afternoon sometime, and maybe have a little day drink going on here. And I was going to maybe talk a little Red Dead, or maybe even throw a movie in or something that all of us would have, and we can do a little live stream watch party. But we'll see. That'll be kind of like a game time decision on what we do there.
Hey, I'm open for everything, man. So-
Yeah, I'm open for anything if I'm not insanely drunk and asleep. So if I'm actually awake, I'll probably show up.
Yeah, I don't know if I probably have work, but if you're still going on, I'll probably join. But yeah,
Yep,
definitely.
same here.
I'm going to try the screen share here because I have an article that I would like to share. And Lethal Lightning, thank you for joining us, man. You have been blessed by the Moist. Anyone that's in the chat or watching, may the Moist bless you. The Moists are with you. If Jeremy Osteen was here, he would rain praises of Moist on you.
Jeremy Osteen.
But we have the next best thing in proper, Jeremy.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm going to try
May
to
the Moist be with you.
And also with you.
And also with you. So for everybody watching this or watching this in the future, this is my first hangout session that I've ever hosted. And I've joined a few of them before on World Class and with the Rookie Critic. I'm going to try to screen share and going to do a little EVS style article read here. We got some breaking news potentially that we might be able to find out a little bit more about Plan 9 as EVS has termed it. So I'm going to hit the green screen.
Yeah.
And my entire.
All right, guys, we're going to get right on the tablet and we're going to do this news story. And Moist is going to do it. Enjoy from Uncle Ethan's beard.
All right, if you want it to stay, you can just click on it. Oh, tunnels!
Yeah, I just got tunnels. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, it's okay. It's all good.
I could stop. So, okay.
No, it's fine. That's a normal thing.
Oh, that's a normal thing. Okay.
Yeah, just go to the article.
Okay. I hit stop. Sorry. So I'll hit screen share again and entire screen share, present, and just go to the article here.
Yep, just go to the article. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, you're doing it right.
All right. So here we are with an article with Inverse. I have not done my due diligence, and that's kind of bad because I am a due diligence and risk compliance researcher. On the credibility of Inverse, I'm going to guess it's probably not very good. But we have our friend here, Corey Plant, written on December 7th, 2018. I am also a history nerd, so I have to moment of silence here while we remember what happened 77 years ago in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Moment with the Japanese attack on the U.S. Pacific Fleet that was docked in Pearl Harbor. So moment of silence begins now. All right, thank you. As what they would want us to do, they would want us to continuing on, and we will do so. And I'd like to thank all the WW2 vets that are still out there and still alive for fighting for us. Awesome. And I also see that we have a veteran of the Galactic Civil War joining us in Lando Calrissian. So let's get into this article here. I'm going to stop the screens. So our friend Corey Plant here, he writes that he even tells us right here that it proved divisive amongst fans and was controversial across the internet. No shit. Great observation. We're going to go through this article has questions, and we're going to try to answer these questions as best as we can. So what is the Star Wars Episode 9 release date? Well, we have that, December 20th, 2019. Before I scroll down, what's the Star Wars Episode 9 title? We have ideas, Plan 9. My guess is Star Wars Episode 9 shithole. If you guys want to give your prediction of what the Star Wars title will be, please feel free.
From his nap, I don't know. The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi from his slumber. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like it's making a sentence.
Episode 9. No one gives a fuck.
All right, Adam, what do you got?
Well, either Episode 9, no one gives a fuck, or Episode 9, we are really, 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 really sorry.
I like that. That might be a contender, but let's see what our friend Corey Plant had to say.
Yes, let's.
No, he didn't have to say anything. Okay, so when will Lucasfilm announce the title for Episode 9? Okay, if I was running a gambling website right now and I could actually put money on this, and I am a bit of a degenerate gambler on sports, so I would bet on Star Wars. That would be something I would bet on. I would guess that we're probably going to get a title in January. I'm going to guess. Is that when you guys think that we'll get one?
Maybe they're holding it off for a celebration. Who knows? They might be hiding the trailer there.
Super Bowl.
That was the original story, and then supposedly all the leakers on all the little entertainment sites are now saying it's definitely going to happen this month. And according to the Collider insider, Weintraub, whatever his name is, on Twitter, he said before December 25th, the teaser trailer will drop and we'll finally know the name. So we'll see if he's full of shit or if he's telling the truth in the next couple of weeks. Stay tuned.
We'll see what Corey Plant has to say about this then. Okay, so we're going to scroll down here. If you want a Corolla hatchback, there you go. No free ads. No, fuck this guy. Okay, how does The Last Jedi set up the plot of Star Wars Episode 9? Well, it doesn't. We're going to skip that. When will Star Wars Episode 9 trailer? We've just covered that. See, this is exactly what EVS has hit on. These complete horse shit articles that are like, we have breaking news, we have spoilers, and all this stuff, and rumors and leaks for the new movies. No, you don't. You don't fucking have any of that shit. Okay, so this is something that could be interesting right here. So what are the new characters joining Star Wars? We do know actress Naomi Aki. I'm not familiar with any of her work. I don't know. Are you guys familiar with any of her work?
No.
Nope.
All right. Well, then that. Well, but
Not really. No.
One thing I do respect, they stuck to the tradition of usually having actors and actresses that are not very prominent joining Star Wars. So I do respect that they do continue that tradition and giving them. But here's the real kicker. MVMT watches. I actually have one of these. They're actually really cool. Lando Calrissian's daughter, and we have Chewbacca here in the picture. So I don't know what Corey Plant knows that we don't. Do we think Chewie and Lando might have spawned a child?
Oh God, no!
I hope so. I hope so. Then I can throw my popcorn at the screen and yell and leave.
If I happen to see
a woman this whole time.
Yeah, I haven't seen that shot before. Living shit.
Well, and the thing is, it's not completely out of the question. I mean, if it can work with a droid, it can work with a Wookiee.
She has his hair.
God, no. No. Why? Ah, damn.
Oh, that was very improper of me.
Well, if she goes, then you know they definitely had a little fun. I don't know how in the world they had. I mean, to my knowledge, Chewbacca's a dude, so
he's been called he many times.
Yeah, so all right, sure. It's its own special universe with special fucking rules, and Disney's just gonna pull out of their little ass.
Yeah, maybe this is the equivalent of the "I am your father" moment. This is what they were talking about. Oh, right, it wasn't race parentage. It was this the whole time.
Superfan Adam Shawhan, what is your thoughts on this theory? Because I think I'm going to take a hot take and just go with it. This is my theory that Naomi Aki, who is rumored to be we have a supposed set leak. I misread that. Is Lando's daughter. I'm going to say she's Chewie and Lando's daughter. Where Chewie's the mother or father or I don't know what to call thing, Wookiee. Superfan Adam Shawhan, your thoughts?
I think he might be attending his wieners.
Oh, okay, yeah, that might be, yeah.
Yeah.
Understand. I'm okay. If I would have to guess, I think he's on my side, so we'll continue. All right. So, are there any characters that won't return to Star Wars Episode 9 before we scroll down to this ever knowledgeable article? Thoughts?
Apparently, DJ is dead due to a Force lightning bolt in the head.
You have
bye, DJ.
I'm
die. DJ, not me. I'm alive. But that fucker right there, little Benicio del Toro, might not be coming back.
I hope not.
Rumor is.
I'm gonna guess that Liam Neeson is not in this movie. That's just a guess.
Yeah, I don't think Qui-Gon, but who knows? According to that little article about Kevin Smith, apparently All the movies are in this movie. A little piece of all of them.
But
So
apparently he cried.
enjoy that. They're just going to rip everything off.
That might
Good
be
job,
because
JJ.
of the whole thing with Kylo Ren and that new helmet being like red or something. I don't know. EVS said something about that.
Yeah.
That could be. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's Darth Vader was a failure, but Darth Maul, hey,
Well,
there we go.
Here's another thing.
Special
too.
Darth Maul helmet.
The more articles that we see coming out that are like, okay, who's not in this movie? What characters won't be returning or whatever? That is your sign. All these media outlets are like, we're going to tell you who's not going to be in it or speculate who's not. If you constantly are speculating something, you probably know that a fuckload of characters are going to be in this film from the prequels and the OT. And the one character that I wouldn't hate to see from the prequels is Watto. I would love to see Watto. I feel like he's an underrated character flying around there, representing flies, because flies, they're just getting hit usually, killed most of the time. And none of these SJWs want to speak up for fucking PETA here. Work for some, fly rights, baby. Let's go.
Fly representation.
You and McGregor's Obi-Wan would be pretty cool as well. But big Watto fan here, or Sebulba. Hey, let's get some Phantom Menace in here, or maybe Jar Jar is like a homeless guy. But no. As you guys were speculating, DJD. I feel like DJD show and DJ has a good friendship, but unfortunately, DJ Benicio del Toro's character will not be returning apparently. And also big announcement, the Porgs.
No,
think of the Porgs.
That's a bonus. No porgs. They're not delicious. It's terrible.
Right. I've seen real life porgs. They're puffins and they're native to Ireland and they're great. They're awesome. They're like flying penguins. Great idea for merchandise for Star Wars. I don't know if anybody had never thought of it before, but great idea. I think they kind of ruined puffins for me a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's a great it's a great marketing tool, and whoever thought of it's a genius. I will give them that. Did they add anything? No, it was just there for you to be like, oh, look at that, and to sell stuffed animals. I mean.
Right.
I did enjoy the Chewie eating the porg scene.
Same.
Yes.
I did. I enjoyed.
You should have went through with it though, like just taking a huge bite right in front of them. That would have been great.
Yes, real Chewbacca would have eaten that fucking porg. That porg would be dead. Right in his belly. And what ended up happening? Don't believe it. Chewbacca's at that level of candy ass. Man's gotta eat. Wolf carpet has to eat.
All right, so here's another question, a lot more serious for all of us here, because I think we're all great big fans of Carrie Fisher's work in Star Wars and outside of Star Wars. So how is Episode 9 dealing with the death of Carrie Fisher, which can't believe it's 2 years at the end of this month. I cannot believe that. I mean, she was the first celebrity death that I shed a tear over. And
damn.
I mean, it's a celebrity dies, a very influential. Like I'm a huge historian, so whenever 41 H.W. Bush passed or last week, I was quite sad, and I'm in the DC area, so I'm like, I saw a lot of and I have a lot of friends that worked the ceremonies and everything, so. It's you really take a lot of time to reflect, what was changed under that president and things. But I think Carrie Fisher, how we revered H.W. Bush as a president, whether you're right or left, he was very well respected. And I think he had great memorial services. I feel like in the entertainment industry, Carrie Fisher kind of had that same mantra that people may not have loved everything she was in, or maybe not have been the biggest fan, but she was really a role model, especially for young women. Hey, Disney thinks they're trying to be first with Rey. No, look back in 1977 whenever you had Princess Leia, one of the most badass female
Yeah, she was badass
ever, to take the leading role, and she put Han and Luke in their places numerous times.
Yeah, with finesse.
Oh yeah, and when they got her, when they were trying to quote unquote rescue her, there's like somebody's got to take charge and like literally took the gun, Luke's gun, and just shot everyone, shot open the garbage chute, and then just dove in.
Exactly, and the thing
Okay.
what we see today, like as a student of history, is there's a lack of contextual understanding for a female taking that kind of a lead role. And Harrison Ford, he's an up and coming actor, you know, and then Mark Hamill, pretty much unknown at the time, but still in a film that would go on to be so huge, and then with her continuing the same roles in episode 5 and 6, having a woman, you know, having a woman lead that role coming out of the late 70s is progressive. Like those movies were progressive in that sense, and I feel like. You know, your standard SJW, what matters to them is what was tweeted 5 minutes ago, but not what happened and what set precedent 40 years ago. They forget about that. And I think Carrie Fisher, whenever she died, she was remembered for the precedents that she had set for young women and just everyone, every Star Wars fan in general. And whether you're a guy or girl or whatever you claim to be, Princess Leia is a character that you can look up to, and she's badass. Like she was in a lot of shit situations. You look at Jabba; she got shot on Endor, and she was captured by the Empire. She got out of them all the time, and she never lost confidence and hope. And I think that you know, going forward, I'm anxious to see what they do with her in Episode 9, on how they're going to handle it. Like the article's saying, I have no idea. I don't know what to expect, but. They ruined Luke Skywalker's character.
Yes. Well, they need to be very careful with Leia. Exactly. Like they will never hear the end of it if they fuck up Leia.
Absolutely.
I don't even think she's really going to be in the movie. They're going to try, but it's not going to make any sense, and you'll be able to tell that it's from the other two movies because she only had one costume in those scenes. So,
well,
yeah, I mean,
they keep it brief and respectful, and then get the hell out of Dodge so that it would fuck it up.
Yeah, just take it, like, give it like 2 seconds and have her right off into the sunset. And that's fine. It's fine if Rian Johnson chose not to do that. I understand why he didn't want to, you know, kill off Leia, you know, for the sake of convenience.
Well, you didn't have the guts. You didn't have the guts.
And the thing is, and like, you can't fault him for not at this point because we didn't know that she was going to pass, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, he already shot all the scenes that he needed for his movie, and that was that.
And you know, and I'm gonna give Disney the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna give J.J. Abrams. I do feel like J.J. Abrams. He's a Hollywood veteran, and I feel like he knows the amount of respect that Carrie Fisher demands and that her memory demands. So I do believe that he will carefully.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna shack that one either.
So I hope not.
I feel like she'll have 5 minutes of fame. And hopefully those 5 minutes are excellent. I don't care if the rest of the movie's shit. If Carrie Fisher gets the respect that she's deserved, I will applaud the movie. I will say the rest of it I didn't like, but I have the utmost respect for J.J. Abrams for paying Carrie Fisher the respect that she deserves.
It's a great way of putting it. It's beautifully said.
Yeah, I mean, I just have a ton of respect. Like I said, the first celebrity I ever shed a tear over. It wasn't like I was sobbing, but when I saw the tweet, I just kind of went to I was visiting my parents at the time.
Yeah, the Moist did not go full Kevin Smith on us now.
No, the Moist, I was at home visiting for the weekend, and I saw was over the holidays, and I saw the tweet that came out that Carrie Fisher has passed, and I just kind of went to my man cave, like down in my room at my parents' house, and just kind of chilled there. And I was reading through, and then you start to see all the tributes.
Yeah.
Whenever you.
The Knights of the Old Republic tribute was interesting.
Yeah, and
both sides just visiting her. I think whatever her palace or her some location that's for her in the video game, and then we all convened there and almost crashed the server. But yeah, it was just to pay respects to her and tribute in the game.
I think too, what got me most it's the it's like it almost seems like it's a stock image picture of Darth Vader, but it's the Darth Vader image that he is kind of like, if you Google it, you can easily find it. He's looking down and he's like standing in the midst of wreckage and everything, but he looked like, you can't see through the mask, but you could imagine how sad it looks. He's just like looking down, not at anything, like you can't see what he's looking at, but it looks so sad. And I saw someone tweet that out, and it was just like, from the dark side and the light, you know, it's like rest in peace, Carrie. When I saw that image of Darth Vader looking down, even though it's a fictional character, doesn't exist. That'd be awesome if it did, but that just got me, and it's just like, how much, not only did this character mean, but the woman that brought the character Princess Leia to life, you know, that how much she meant to the entertainment community. And I think that it can never be understated what she did for women in entertainment. And honestly, I think she's a pioneer, especially in the sci-fi genre.
Oh yeah, easily.
And I feel like she deserves a hell of a send out a year from now. And that's the one thing I want from episode 9 is a proper Carrie Fisher send out.
Beautiful.
That was I had to get emotional on that one. The Moist is emotional at times, and his eyes moisted for Carrie Fisher.
Just one thing real quick. We just spent like a good 20 minutes talking about Carrie Fisher, and that says a lot for a group that people try to say that, oh, we're intimidated by women, or we don't respect women, or we're sexist. Like, come on.
You know what? I want Rey to be a great character. I want Rose Tico to be a great character. And like okay, like I'm one that, you know, when it comes to the inclusion and everything, I'm like, good, that's great. You know, it's great that people can be represented, but when you throw it in someone's face and you force it, that's when the problem arises. And here's where I say the problem arises. Not because it's diversity, it's because it's forced diversity. And I know that's been said a million times, but how I take it is, you're forcing a different character on a bunch of people that are not used to change. If you do that, you're going to likely get a lot of backlash towards that character, which can also translate potentially to that ethnic group. It's like, write the character in a way that you don't even notice it. Like with Princess Leia, like that was huge with women, you know, with women in leading roles. It was written in a way that you didn't even care. You're just like, she's a badass. If you could do that like with Rose Tico and make Rose Tico a badass, that's awesome. And if it fits perfectly with the story, like, I wouldn't hate that. And I think that's great for the industry. And it's progressive for the people that want to be progressive, but it's also for the people that don't even care. And they're just like, we just want good stories. We don't care who's in it, which I feel like is most of everybody here, and us included. We don't care who's in it, as long as it's good. It pleases us as well. So that's the Moist take.
You can have it both ways.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, but you can't. Okay, so we're getting down here to everybody's favorite scene. In the chat, I'm sorry I can't see right now. I have the screen share going, but in the chat, thank you all for joining. I'm just going to guess that people are in there. So thank you all for joining.
Indeed. Thank you all.
So here we go. I'll give some shout outs whenever we get back in here. So is Rey getting a new lightsaber in episode 9? We saw the famous Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker lightsaber get destroyed, and in a pretty powerful way, if I had to say. But
thought it was cool.
She's got to get a new one. I think she's got to get a new one. What do you guys think?
Oh, yes. Definitely. That for one, that's
yeah.
a Skywalker saber too. It exploded, and that was pretty badass. That way, that was a good part in the movie.
Yes.
I must say. But yeah, she has to. But then again, she doesn't know how to do anything anyway. I mean, yeah, fine. I'm a female, so I'm the best fighter pilot. I'm the best laser shooter. I'm the best laser sword swinging. Because I have a tuna box. And I'm a plank of wood.
Tuna box.
But yeah, man, she definitely has to have, whether it's Force Ghost Luke and Yoda and every other person telling her, hey, and helping her or whatever, or I don't know, maybe she'll just shat one out, but she definitely needs her own. And hell, it needs to be a rainbow saber.
Clearly, obviously. I mean,
It better match my background, otherwise it's a failure.
yes, all the sites I've seen so far talking about it are pointing to her saber probably is going to be completely destroyed. So it means she has to make a new one. If not, what's she going to do? Fight with her fingers? It's going to be epic finger touching. Maybe she shoots a little force lightning out of her vagina. Who knows? But some way she's going to have to be able to fight Kylo Ren in the next film. So if she has no lightsaber, we'll see what in the world they pull out of somewhere to fix the situation.
We haven't seen Force Lightning yet, so who knows?
We'll see what happens.
Tuna box lightning, you never know. But I mean, unless, you know what, the cheesiest way they could do it, and I shouldn't say it because these jackasses will probably steal it and do it now, is she would have Luke's Return of the Jedi saber.
That here we go. What I can scroll down here. I did a little reading here.
Yes,
the
the boys can read.
Totally. We can confirm, everybody here, are we consensus? Was the lightsaber broken?
Yes.
Yes, and the
Unfortunately,
pictures
yes.
I've seen.
Okay, we have yeses on a unanimous.
We also can see the article.
We also have the playoffs here. I'm a diehard college football fan, so
yeah,
all that.
Bama.
I'm a big Penn State fan. I'm from Pennsylvania, so I grew up right next to Penn State. So yeah, I mean, I had my heart broken at the University of Michigan. I flew out from DC to the University of Michigan this year to see Penn State get their asses kicked. That was heartbreaking. I felt almost the same there as I did with The Last Jedi. So,
my condolences.
It was a dark time, but we had a great time out there. So if you're in Michigan or in Ann Arbor, I stayed in Tecumseh, Michigan, but shout out to you guys. You guys were awesome. And State College, Happy Valley. We are Penn State. Love you guys. Anyway, so it says confirmed. Yeah, totally broken. Rumors are that Rey builds a new lightsaber, and this would, at the very least, mirror how Luke suddenly had a new green saber at the Return of the Jedi. Oh, but if you fucking seen the deleted scenes that have been leaked out of Return of the Jedi, you can see Luke building a lightsaber in a cave. So he actually did know how to build one. We don't know if she uses the broken pieces or if she has to find an all-new Kyber crystal. How the fuck does she need to know she needs a Kyber crystal?
Wouldn't you think that the Kyber crystal is
I don't know.
Finger touching has taught her everything she knows. So she would obviously now know from absorbing the information she needs a new Kyber crystal.
Well, the finger banging of the Kylo Reylo bullshit. Yes, it leads to knowledge.
Yep, and she's
finger bang.
Insert that crystal somewhere. Hopefully, she knows where to stick it.
So, what would you guys feel about a double-sided yellow lightsaber, like our friend Corey Plant in this article?
Well, I've always wanted to see different colors of lightsabers. You know, there's always been red, green, and blue, and then Mace Windu, Samuel L. Jackson's like, man, I want mine to be purple.
I love that.
And there we go. And then he kept it, and it says "badass motherfucker," and that's all you can do. I mean, and so I mean, I'm fine with a different colored lightsaber. It's labeled, whatever, lightsaber. But yellow, maybe not. I would like orange. Orange would be cool. But yellow, maybe not. That's just me.
I'm sticking with the rainbow, man. Just like a popsicle, a rainbow.
And screen sharing anymore.
You know what'll sell for Disney is the hot pink lightsaber. Yeah, you know they'll do that. I mean, if they were still going in that direction,
I'd be cool with it.
That would happen. We would see the hot pink lightsaber in Episode 9, and they'd be like, "Oh, but all the nice feminist girls are going to buy it for sure." That whole 8% of the population, you're just going to run out and buy all those lightsabers, just like that. Wait, they're selling out nonstop at all the big toy stores and at Ollie's. Right? There isn't just boxes upon boxes of Star Wars crap nobody wants because they're so upset with the Star Wars films. Not at all.
If anybody wants to know fun fact,
yes, Brandon?
Be a customer service specialist, not just a regular one, a specialist at Ollie's Bargain Outlet. Good stuff, cheap, baby. Let's go. That was my job before I Ended up working in, I guess, essentially corporate America now down here in DC before grad school. And not to, I'm very excited to do this live stream tonight because today I received confirmation that I am cleared to graduate next Sunday from York University with my master's degree. So you might need to call me the Master of Moist from now on.
The Moist Master.
The Moist Master.
The Moist Master.
You might have to do that. And
there you
if
go, little
home
applause. Good
up
stuff.
Jeremy, or home up channel Jeremy, hell fucking yeah, welcome to the chat, man. So glad that you could join us.
Well, on that note, I actually have to be leaving for another prior commitment.
Yeah.
It was so awesome. Thank you for inviting me on the inaugural Moist Cast. This has been so much fun, and my friends, superfan Adam Shawhan and DJ D, you guys are awesome. Hell, I might return a little later in the stream. I might not, but I do have to get going. Thank you so much for having me. If you have any other questions, I could. What?
Body of water of the week.
Oh, body of water of the week. Okay. Ooh, I'd say Lake Erie because my second home is in Cleveland, Ohio. And should talk about the Lake Erie monster at some point. I don't know if that's going to be, there's some interesting folklore. Apparently there were reports in 1990 of people seeing a large creature moving in the water about 1,000 feet from their boat, described as black in color, about 35 feet long, with a snake-like head, and moved as fast as a boat. That's literally from the Wikipedia page.
That is awesome. That's what we're looking for with the body of water of the week.
Right.
That's exactly what we need in this set. That's this segment. That's what we're looking for.
Right.
So, Proper Jeremy, thank you very much. Or Proper Jeremy, thank you very much for joining us, man. I hope you had a great time, and I am glad to have you on at any time in the future here.
I'm glad that you invited me. Proper Jeremy out. Thank you so much, man.
All right, see you, man. All right, we are down a warrior right now, but that will not stop us. DJ D and Adam Shawhan here. So with that, I think we're going to transition into our first segment. We're going to.
That's called the segue, ladies and gentlemen.
We're going to go into the body of water of the week, and you can pull it up right now on Wikipedia, whatever you would like to do. I'm going to pull up mine right now. Wikipedia. And okay, so I have my body of water of the week ready to go. Superfan Adam Shawhan and DJ D show. Would one of you guys like to lead off here?
I'm going to, because mine's going to be real short and you're going to laugh, but it's okay. My favorite body of water is the pool in the backyard, because when it's full of water, I don't get hurt when I fall 8 feet when there's no water in it and become disabled. That's my favorite body of water, is my pool full of water, so I don't get hurt again.
That's a great body of moist molecules that are keeping you from being hurt. DJ D show, do you have a nominee for moist, or not the moist, but the body of water of the week?
Considering what you said earlier, I'm sure you'll love this choice. Lake Michigan. Because of the bitches. I mean, the beaches and all the bitches that happen to be on those beaches sometimes. They're sexy little bikinis. That's
on
one
the Silver Beach. Beautiful.
All right, so I'm going to go with a river that's near and dear to my heart that I grew up nearby. It's the Juniata River in central Pennsylvania. It's a tributary of the Susquehanna River, about 104 miles long through the central Pennsylvania. And it was also home at one point to the Erie Canal. It went through. I'm going to give you some other fun facts. Not the coordinates or anything. The basin size of it's 3,400 square miles. That's a decent square mileage, folks. Don't fuck with that. And the etymology, the word Juniata, it's an Iroquoian word, so named after the local Indian tribes around there. And I can tell you, I've been in the Juniata River crawfishing, crawdad fishing, and I have been fishing. And I can tell you, its depths vary between I can stand in it and I can't stand in it. So that is your take on the Juniata River. So that's my nomination for Body of Water of the Week. What we'd like to do here, once we get some more traction on the channel, I would like to, I will tweet out everyone's choice of Body of Water of the Week. I'd like to have a few guests on each time that I'm streaming, and then we'll get a little poll on Twitter, and then we'll have an inaugural Body of Water of the Week award, and that hopefully maybe someone that's listening near that area can maybe like I'll send them a piece of paper to print out. Maybe they can print it out and just kind of place it near that body of water and take a picture and let that body of water know that I'm basically Aquaman. If you've seen my trailer, then you know who I am. But
I just thought you were Moist Man.
We need to appreciate our moistures out there, our H2Os, and I think having an award is a great way to do so. So with that, I would like to transition to here. I know we love talking Star Wars,
and obviously for science, clearly.
I mean, we're looking at science here. We're looking at everything here. I'm gonna check the chat out here. What we doing here? Okay, here. Okay, Caitlin, Keeper of the Jeremys is here. That is awesome. Thank you for joining us.
Well, notice she popped up and Jeremy ran away.
Sith Kryptonian. I know this is a hell of a time to do the first live stream, but we got 13 people watching now, and I was just hoping for like 5 or 6 or 8. I'm like, this is incredible. Awesome. DJD show. I see you in the chat, even though you're in the hang here. This is just awesome. And I say, I love you guys. I thank you so much for all being here. This is not the end of the stream by no means, because we have 2 big developments in entertainment that came out just yesterday. And I'm going to tell you what, the Moist got quite excited. The first one here, I know it's something that we don't necessarily talk about with World Class Bullshitters or EVS or Geeks and Gamers as much, that I'm not familiar with at least, is Game of Thrones. And I'm not sure how big of Game of Thrones fans are you guys, but to put it in perspective, my cat is named Jon Snow. And Jon Snow is sitting right at my feet right now. Probably pissed I'm not playing with him, but he's getting all sorts of treats and spoiled like crazy. But so I am a diehard Game of Thrones fan, and when it comes to television series, The Walking Dead was my favorite. I've ranted on that on World Class Bullshitters a couple times, but Jason Clark loves Game of Thrones too. Thank you, man, dude. I absolutely love it, and I hope you enjoyed that little teaser trailer. But we got a 30-second teaser trailer. Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad are like my 2 top. They're tied for my favorite.
Oh, nice.
And we got a teaser trailer of Breaking Bad. Now, Adam, superfan Adam Shawhan, are you a fan of Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones. What could Game of Thrones possibly be? You see, we're going to take our Jon Snow to verse your Jon Snow, because we do have a wiener dog named Jon Snow in Texas.
I'll message you on Facebook and send you a picture of my cat.
It's all good. Yes, we had a Khaleesi.
Pussycat pictures. All right.
Look, I've got wiener. He's got pussy. We're good.
Well, here's how I know I have the right cat. So I adopted John from a shelter in July. I adopted him, and he's about 3 years old. And I think he was given up because he has asthma. But he is the most loving cat. Loves to play. But here's how I know that he picked the right owner, because he picked me. Honestly, he just got out of his cage and went right up to me and was like, "Pet me, love me." I'm just like, "All right, well, he's mine now, I guess." And whenever I shower, as soon as I come out of the bathroom, the freaking cat goes in and sits in the moisture that's left in the shower. He comes out.
Wants the moisture.
This cat, yep, he is Moist Junior essentially. But so anyway, back to Game of Thrones here. So what we're gonna do here, we'll talk a little. DJD, are you a Game of Thrones fan?
Yes, indeed. Right, so I think I've seen every single episode just about. So yeah,
in the chat, we also have Game of Thrones.
And the books. And read the books.
Did you get Fire and Blood?
God, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. 120 right now. But with what did you got? What were your initial reactions on the teaser trailer? So, spoilers for anyone that's watching that might not have seen Game of Thrones up to season 7. I hope you
It
have.
makes me feel not worried for the final season.
Yeah.
I think they've got a good grasp of what they're supposed to do, what will not piss off George R. R. Martin and or the fans. And hopefully they'll make up for the fans that were slightly upset by last season or the previous 2 seasons,
Mhm.
which I didn't think there was any reason to be upset. I
No,
was like,
that's
they're
my
doing the
bad.
best they can. Let them do their thing. I mean, crap. I wish Star Wars was even close to how good Game of Thrones has been. Jeez. At least the recent Star Wars.
When you looked at Game of Thrones, DB Wise and DB Benninghoff, they've known the end of Game of Thrones since they wrote the first season. The reason that that George R. R. Martin let DB Wise and DB Benninghoff direct and write Game of Thrones, the film or the TV series for HBO, was that they knew George R. R. Martin gave them like a 2-page handout just about basic stuff about Jon Snow. And then they figured out exactly what Jon Snow's character arc was going to be. And they told George R. R. Martin, and he looked at them and was like, "You're exactly right. You guys got the job." So that's with the fact that the creator of the entire universe, which is so complex, and I will say it's more complex than Star Wars. Just
Agreed.
I will say it's way more complex than the Star Wars universe, and Star Wars universe is massively complex with the legends and then the new canon or whatever. It gets very complex. But just reading Fire and Blood, the newest book,
Yeah.
it's like, holy shit! Like, this is impressive.
Yeah.
And, I have the full faith. I had no problem with season 7 and 6. I can see where there could be, people that are just like, diehard book fans that are.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, if you're a book fan, you have nothing to really complain about because George R. R. Martin hasn't released a book in 7 years. So you bitch about the film or the show taking liberties whenever you don't know. You might be seeing the exact same thing when you read the book. It will be a lot more detailed, but it's just. You just got to accept that where we're at right now, George R. R. Martin got beat by his own series, essentially. And,
Yes.
That's my take on it, and I cannot wait for.
And he was fine with it because the way he said it's like, well, let someone have the ending in case I'm not able to finish it and do it. And considering the way he does books, at that time you could really believe that you didn't know if you were going to see the ending of the series. So it's good to know the ending somewhere at least.
Yeah, and I say Superfan Adam Shaw, I'm going to have you take over right here after this. I want to say Lethal Lightning says you got to do some running around, gents. Thanks for tuning in, Lethal Lightning. Greatly appreciate it. And Jason Clark, yes, the books are some serious reading. They are definitely some serious reading. But the thing is, like, I never saw them as being too much of a burden to read. Even though there's so much detail, I always enjoy.
Yeah, there's a lot of detail, but it's not like very complicated.
Yeah,
that makes any sense.
It's like he'll throw in like a little lineage here and there, and you might forget about it for the second. You'll be like, okay, why did I read that? But then like 10 pages later, you're like, oh, okay, cool. But Superfan Adam Shawhan, what's your overall experience with Game of Thrones? Kind of interested to hear this.
So I didn't read the books. I caught it when it first came on HBO. My wife and I tried for a while to get her to watch it. Ironically enough, she didn't. And then when she did, she really liked it, which I think season 2 was out by the time she was reading the books. She wanted to get through the books before she watched the show. So I just know what I know from the show, and I think it has to be one of the best TV mini movie shows that has been made in recent history. I enjoyed Breaking Bad. But I feel this is better personally. It's definitely entertaining. You've got suspense, you've got some wicked murder, some wicked battles. So I would say
definitely some wicked TNA.
Hey,
wicked
at least they did Johnson it. They care about the fans. They're still going. I'm sad that, you know, like the last season took forever. It took us a year and a half to get, and it's sad that this is going to be the last one. But hey, if this is it and this is how it's going to end, I have to agree with DJD. The trailer I saw didn't make me go, "Oh Christ, they're gonna Johnson it."
It gave you just enough. Like it did not spoil a damn thing.
No,
that's the best part about it, and it built up the hype perfectly. Where you have the dragons going at each other, and it's basically like the Game of Thrones intro, just kind of like tweaked a little bit. But that's what I love about that show, that they can do that. And I'm in awe. Like, I'm taking it all in, because I hope whenever I have kids, I can be like, okay, I hope there's a TV series that just literally captures the attention of the world. When I lived in Jordan, season 5 was going on. And when I was on campus, you'd hear people, like other students, obviously they're Arab and they're speaking Arabic. You'd hear them talking, they're speaking Arabic, and then all of a sudden you hear Jon Snow or Daenerys Targaryen or things like that. They're illegally watching it because they're just like, their parents didn't want to let them watch it. So they're like all trying to meet up at different people's houses to watch this thing. And I'm just like, and I'd just walk up and be like, well, hey, you guys, like, what did you think of the episode? And then like, we just go like, I'd never met them before. They're from a complete different culture, complete different language. And we just start talking about Game of Thrones. And like I love that it brings so many people together. And I haven't seen a media phenomenon do that since I don't, like, maybe the Star Wars, honestly.
Well, different kind of people too.
Yeah, exactly.
Because some of these people definitely would not hang out at all in real life.
No.
And the thing is, like, Game of Thrones, like, there's the characters from the nerdiest of nerd to the jockiest of jock to the person that never wants to leave their apartment or leave their house because they're
businessmen.
They have social
businesswoman.
Yep.
To the most socially awkward person, or just like outgoing person. There's so many characters to connect with, and whether they die or not, you can get invested in them. And then if they get killed, it's like, oh my god. But then you're like, okay, well, then this character though, I like them too because of this relationship that they had, and that's what I like. The show builds so many relationships. And
I'm just going to say right now, Tyrion's badass. Okay.
Yes. Tyrion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to be one of my favorite characters in the series from the beginning all the way to where we are now. So, okay, Penny. Apparently, she does not agree with us.
Yeah. Penny heard. She heard about the cat Jon Snow, and she got a little worried. But no, I say Game of Thrones. The teaser, I think was a great, exactly what we need. We're honestly, I say December, was it January, February? We're 4 months from Game of Thrones, like, well, a little more than 4 months from Game of Thrones.
Definitely can't get here fast enough.
We can begin to see the light at the end of the lake. I have to say the lake because that's moisture. Tunnels usually aren't moist unless they're in the mountains. So we can start to see that light across the lake, and it's getting closer. Someone's getting in the rowboat and coming towards us. But Hallmark Channel Jeremy says Game of Thrones has TNA for days and days and days. But
and it's good TNA.
It's good TNA. That's
high quality TNA.
Top shelf, sir. Top shelf.
Yep.
Yeah. So I say, so you guys have anything else to say about the Game of Thrones teaser, or just like your initial reactions, or just anything else you'd like to say?
I mean, for me, pretty much that's it. I was very happy. I didn't feel as empty as I did with the Avengers trailer. To me, the Avengers trailer was just not trying to segue or change it, but it was just a titled name drop more than a teaser trailer, where this is an actual teaser trailer where it doesn't ruin anything. It gets you excited. Hell, might even get you a little hard. But
I chubbed.
Much excitement with
say that.
But you're filled with anticipation. We're ready to go see this.
Exactly.
The Avengers trailer, I see that, and I'm just like, eh.
That was just depressing.
Well, here, save your thoughts on that here.
Yep.
We're gonna have a quick segment here. and then we're going to go to the Avengers trailer. The segment is going to be what made me sand. So the opposite of moist is sand, and that made me dry. I'm disappointed. I'm just, I'm not wet anymore. So what basically what this segment's going to be and what's going to be going forward is going to be, I'm going to find a dumbass of the week essentially, and it's going to be from a news article, and I'm going to read it out and we can discuss it, just kind of bullshit about what happened here for a few minutes, and then we'll go into the Avengers. But I feel like it's good to mix it up here instead of just constantly like going with the pop culture stuff. Let's mix it up here with some live stuff that we can laugh our asses off at. So here we go. What made me sand of the week or dry? So the headline from the Allentown Morning Call from Pennsylvania. It says, police, Pennsylvania man freed from jail, steals car from its parking lot. Initial reactions, go. What, say, Adam Shawhan, what is your initial reactions of that?
Not surprised.
Okay. DJD?
The man is a dumbass. Everyone around him is now stupider for that event.
Okay, so this is a very short article, so I'm just going to read the whole thing. So this was posted on December 5th, so a couple days ago. Police say a Pennsylvania man released from jail immediately stole a car from its parking lot. Westmoreland County Prisons officials say that moments after 36-year-old Thomas Lee Williams was released, he attacked a woman in the parking lot Tuesday evening and stole her car with the victim's 1-year-old in the backseat. The Tribune Review.
Oh, God.
Williams crashed about 15 minutes later and ran into the woods while he was apprehended. Police say the Philadelphia man was back in custody on Wednesday with $250,000 bail. Both the boy and his grandmother were taken. Oh, the grandmother was in the car too.
Wow.
Both the boy and his grandmother were taken to the hospitals to be checked out. Williams pleaded guilty in January 2017 to dealing drugs and was ordered released on Tuesday. So what a Tuesday for that gentleman.
Jeez.
Fun ride along with a felon.
He is an idiot and definitely aura of stupidity. Just wow.
Like, okay, so if you're gonna steal a car, I feel like
obviously the dude didn't realize it was reality. Yeah. He was like, "Oh, it's Grand Theft Auto. I can do whatever the fuck I want." I mean, shit. God dang.
Hot take. I feel like he was playing a lot of he was dreaming of playing Grand Theft Auto 6 or 5, and I feel like he felt like whenever you get killed in GTA 5, you just like spawn at the hospital, and you could just go do whatever as soon as you leave. So I feel like he was just tapping that A button or X button real fast, trying to get to the nearest car, and then when he did, he threw out the driver and then just drove out. And then I feel like he was driving on the highway, and then he turned around like, oh, fuck, there's a baby on board. And then he looks to the passenger seat. There's a fucking grandma on board. Like, what do you do?
Ladies and gentlemen, don't do meth.
Yeah, don't do that. And don't do it on the day that you get released from jail. I can tell you that. But, so this gentleman, he made me sand. He made me dry. So now that we had that segment going on here, DJD, do you have any thoughts on this whole entire incident here?
I'm in disbelief, but I'm not shocked because I live in Florida.
Yeah,
we hear that shit all the time.
I honestly was considering doing Florida Man of the Week, and that might happen. But
I won't lie, man. When you were sitting here reading this, you're telling me it's in PA, and I'm like, no, that's got to be FL, man.
Exactly,
right.
That is right up the alley of
so Florida
shit. You would hear
That's something DJD tell me in the morning. Man, you ain't never guess what happened. What's up, bro? And then he tells me, I'd be like, yep, you're right. I am Jack's lack of compassion, and I am completely stunned.
It's like this man stole a truck full of alligators right after he'd exited the hospital after getting his dick cut off by his girlfriend who was high on meth. I mean, and you'd believe it because that shit happens all the time.
They just call that a Tuesday.
Exactly. So when you say what you said, I'm like, yeah, that's just normal, sadly, this day and age.
Like I follow the Twitter account AP Oddities. So if you'd like some good AP Oddities, so it's Associated Press, so a legit news source.
Oh God!
Go out and find the weirdest shit that happened during the week.
Nice.
All right, so while we're here and while we're all talking here, and we were just alluding to it earlier, let's talk Avengers. So I'm gonna set the stage where I saw it from. I saw it. I actually watched it at work with no sound. I saw it, and what I saw was pretty awesome. It looked cool, and I'm concerned for Iron Man. And also, before I really get going on here, Tad the Tech Man is in the chat session. Tad the Tech Man is one of my best friends. I've known him literally since kindergarten. Tad, if you'd like to come on, just send me a text. Like, you have my number. Just text me, and you can come on here, and we can get your hot takes on all this, because I know you're all up on the entertainment industry. That what we're talking about here, and we have a lot of same views when it comes to Star Wars and shit. But so back to the Avengers trailer. What I saw was it looked good from what I saw, and I mean, I'm for me it was a lot of talking, which kind of what I expected, and me not watching it with tech or with closed captioning or sound may not have been the most constructive experience for me, but just raw reaction from DJD and Adam Shawhan, I'll take it.
I watched it with World Class Bullshitters this morning, and
yeah,
I mean,
unfortunately, I missed that. Like I was,
yeah.
I had a couple meetings this morning that I couldn't.
Hey, it's all good, man. You work, I don't. You know, that's the perks of falling in a pool in the water and becoming disabled. But on a side note, I mean, I wasn't. It's not like, oh my God, it's the worst trailer ever. It's not what I expected after 10 years and after getting, you know, the last Avengers movie. I mean, I sent you the picture. Ha ha ha. Rudy wins. He beats Thanos because he beat Hulk. But hey, that's a good joke with Rudy the Wiener Dog. In all honesty, I just really felt it was more of a name drop than anything. I don't, you know, they didn't really give a lot up, which is also a good thing. It showed Tony, you know, it showed this, it showed that. We, you know, Cap, we got to do this, we got to do it right. DJD and I kind of covered it this morning on his show as well. But it kind of felt a little limp, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, a few people said that, and they gave the whole, oh, you're being a naysayer, but it was like, it was boring. There's no way around it. All this expectation level, all this hype for the fucking trailer and sucking the fuck out of it for almost a year, lying to us point blank with the Russos. And then, you know, you expect something, and then you get that. And it's, and I get it, but save that for the film. For a trailer, you want it to be somewhat exciting instead of, oh, depressing and mopey, depressing and mopey, depressing and mopey. Oh, and at the end, what saves the trailer from being, you know, just depression fest the whole way through is, oh, Scott Lang shows up, Ant-Man, and he's like, hey, let me in. But we kind of, I forget if in leaks or where the hell I had seen that part already, kind of. I don't remember. That was months ago. So it was like, so basically nothing new that we'd give a shit about that makes us hopeful for the future film, other than the fact that the gang's back together. They're going to maybe pull something off, hopefully. But that's what you're thinking, but that's what the trailer tells you. The trailer just leaves you with the feeling of, say if you don't understand what the hell they're saying, and just watching it, you're depressed at the end. So there's no way you're not depressed at the end. It's like, how are they going to win? They're all sad and shit. And I'm sure the next trailer will be better. And like I said, it was a good trailer for what it was. They did an impeccable job and sold it. But they sold basically you're supposed to be sad. And I made fun of it with Thor. It's like, oh, just a single tear just comes down from Thor because he's so sad. And if it wasn't for Scott Lang, I mean, it's genius whoever did that part. You know, the humor at the end with Captain America, Black Widow, and Ant-Man. And it's like, no, that's right now, guys. And then that gives you some hope at the end after setting up the depressing. But you'd already set up the depression with the movie. So is this for somebody that is this for someone who hasn't seen Infinity War at all? Because that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, whenever I saw,
yeah.
And the thing is, like, I'm not the biggest like super like I'm now getting into like the vintage Marvel comics and all that stuff. Like, I'm lucky that I have a comic bookstore, used bookstore about a mile from where I live, and they have a fuck ton of stuff. Like today, I just bought Green Lantern Sinestro Core War, the entire book for like $5, and EVS illustrated it. It was for $5.
Indeed.
It was awesome. And so I can't wait to read that. But it's
and he would be nice enough to sign it for you, probably, if you ever meet him.
Yeah, he probably would.
So, yeah, no, he's nice like that. He would do. That'll be a whole $5 for that signature. No, I'm joking. He's not a sports guy.
For me, not being, I mean, like I know the basics. Like I'm like your casual Marvel fan. I know what's going on with Thor, with Iron Man, Black Panther. I know what's going on with everybody, Ant-Man. But when I saw Infinity War, I was just like, holy fuck! Like they all fucking died, or like half of them died. Like, oh my god! Like the Spider-Man floating away was just like, oh my god, that killed me. But I'm also like, okay, so I don't have the comic background. Okay, well, we'll just see what happens in the next Infinity War or Avengers 4, whatever it's going to be. Now we know it's Endgame, but so I that's the kind of mentality that I took the trailer with. And when I saw the trailer, I was just, and I like I said, I didn't see it with any sound. I'm just like, okay, I see Iron Man. He's in a pretty fucking shitty place. I'd hate to be in that place. That would suck. And then I see Captain America and a lot of speaking. So I'm just kind of like, things are going on here. So I saw it as like, okay, they're planning and planning and planning, and then just please plan, don't show anything, and then hopefully we'll see what they have planned in the movie. And I'm okay with not seeing anything that they have planned in the trailers or just like crazy action sequences. I'm cool with that. But if they save a ton of the action sequences or like what they're trying to do to defeat Thanos for the movie, I won't hate it.
And yeah, I mean, I was happy that with what we got in that aspect. Like I said, to me, it was just a name drop. Now we know the name for sure. Yeah. Here's a little bit of everybody being sad, although we already saw that. And if this is a time jump for 5 years, you mean you've been pounding your ass in the mud this long and you're still sad, don't know what to do? Which, granted, we don't know, how long. Has it been a year? Has it been a month? Has it been, we'll find out. But to me, I was extremely ecstatic that it was just, here's the name of the movie. Here's a little bit. You have watched it with the sound now, yes?
I have not.
Honestly. Oh, you have not? Yeah, well, watch it with, I mean, you're hearing what we're saying. Once you hear with the sound, it's, it's kind of cheesy, whiny, and then you get the comedy at the end, which they did it right. I mean, it definitely, like I said, it's not the worst one ever. I just feel it was more of a name drop for a movie title more than, okay, here's a teaser trailer to get you excited about the movie.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know who this trailer was meant for. Looking back on it, I was like, is this meant for someone that has not seen the previous film? Then the trailer makes sense. But if it's for somebody who just saw the other film, why are you milking the fact that they're sad and then the whole way through? See, it should have been how I would have set up the trailer would have been, all right, show your sad crap fine at the start. And then a little bit of action, actual fighting, to give people some hope. That's thrown it somewhere in there. So okay, so they're going to fight to fix everything instead of talking about we're going to plan to fix everything. So I don't know who they're gearing it towards, but oh well.
I mean, I feel if they were smart, they wouldn't release shit until Tuna Box Marvel comes out and Captain Marvel, and then they do how they always do with the extension stuff. But then at the very, very end, after the end credit and the end scene and everything, then they play an actual theatrical trailer for Avengers.
Yeah, I think they know that Captain Marvel might not do well. And they're like, and try not to nuke the next film after that film bombs, if it bombs. So they can see that. There's no evidence so far in any of the trailers of Captain Marvel that that's anything other than Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I mean, or some potential dud
I
of
said,
epic proportion.
with Captain Marvel, like I've seen it all. Like I feel like I was like, oh, it could be okay, but it's like I feel like it's just like okay, it's just like the hype.
Yeah, so far to me, it's a waste of money that I'm not going to watch, and I'm just going to go right to Avengers 4 instead.
I'm not going to go see it. Like I'll see it if it comes on Netflix. I'll watch it and stuff like that. Like
oh yeah, I'll see it eventually. That's for sure.
I'll definitely watch it. Like
we don't have to watch it. Jeff will see it and tell us if it's good or bad, and if all of a sudden he says it's good, then we'll know to go see it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like
exactly, which will definitely shock me if he says it.
I mean, look,
if you've heard just the trailer reactions of World Class,
we're expecting the worst. But
easily, this is not looking pretty so far.
Not that they would, but they could surprise the hell out of us, and there is an explanation for it. We don't know because we haven't seen it.
Exactly.
But because we've been so screwed over by Star Wars, it's hard to not expect it.
The absolute worst
for Marvel. Yeah. But let's say that it's not horrible. To me, that would be a way to tie it in and to make you go see it anyway. Is okay. Well, we're not going to play any more, trailers. You want to see the trailers, but you're not going to even get it at the trailer at the beginning of the movie. You're going to get an extra special trailer at the very end of this movie, just because we can.
Yeah,
that's my marketing ploy.
Yes.
Anyway. Yeah. I mean, okay. So any other closing thoughts on the Avengers here?
Yeah, we should all get together and go see it.
I would fucking love that.
Yes, that would be fun.
I say because I say I'm in Northern Virginia, right here in Northern Virginia. So, it's pretty easy for me. I'm near Dallas Airport, so I can easily get to wherever. So I'm hoping to get to Star Wars Celebration in Chicago.
I'm hoping I'll be there, so I should be there the entire 5 days.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm planning on trying to get there Friday, like hopefully Friday morning, and then leaving Sunday morning, so I can have Friday morning and then all day Saturday, and then hopefully some of the morning on Sunday get brunch or something. But that's kind of what I did when I went to Michigan for the Penn State Michigan game, and that was perfect balance. So I'm hoping to do the same. Just stay at an Airbnb. I'm not going to the actual celebration, but to just be there so we can all just hang out and everything.
Yep, that's what I'm doing. I'm going there to follow World Class and then see everybody.
Yeah, it's like
there.
And the thing is too, we can also like coordinate and grab it, like get the same Airbnb and stuff like that too, or hotels and things like that. That way we can all save other money because
it's not like I don't know how to get a hold of you.
Exactly. Yeah, I know we're all here, but So I was like, DJD, do you have any closing thoughts on Avengers?
You mean if just the trailer? Well, the trailer is one thing. Like I said, they could have done a better job on Avengers for the actual film.
We could probably do another 4 hours.
I think it's actually going to be good. I didn't see that they fucked up any. See, at least they didn't make mistakes in the trailer, unlike Captain Marvel. 2 trailers in a row of bitch face. Oh God, great job, whoever the marketing team is there. It gives real hope for that film, let alone character. Whereas you actually feel emotion from the Avengers trailer. There's some emotion there. There's actual acting going on. Yeah. I mean, you're hopeful that the film is going to be good. There's a hint of that might be good. Whereas there's no hint of that so far in Captain Marvel, at least when it comes to the Brie Larson character. Now, there's some hope when it comes to Sam Jackson. Even Jude Law, you see he's actually doing something, and you think he might be interesting.
DJD, if I could interrupt for a second here.
Yeah, sure.
Jason Clark in the chat says, gotta check out the new Avengers trailer now, too. Jason Clark, if you'd love to check it out right now, it'll take you a couple minutes. I'd love for you to check that out right now, and then come back to us with the chat in the chat what you thought of it. I think that'd be great.
Yep.
We can. I say we'll interact with you here, man. And so and exactly, open-minded movie man, no condescending SJW crap in the Avengers and Endgame trailer. From what I saw, and I saw it once with no sound. and intentionally for this stream because I knew at least Adam Shawhan and Proper Jeremy. I didn't know how long he was going to stick around, and then DJD. Thankful that you showed up here too.
Yep.
I figured probably the majority of you guys would have seen it too. And then we could go from there. And I feel like I'd have a unique kind of perspective coming in. Like, yeah, I saw it. I didn't, completely take it in.
Yeah.
And, I feel like that's kind of something I want to do in this channel, where it's like, okay, there's a few things that I'm going to try to be on top of the game on. And that's going to be fucking Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, things like that. And other than that, I kind of want to like I want to take like the back seat here. It's like I want to provide a platform that I can bring people on like yourself, Adam Shawhan. I've talked to the Rookie Critic and everything. To give people a outlet to talk about things, pop culture. And the thing is also, it's like, and the thing is, I also don't want to impede on like world class bullshitters, EVS, geeks and gamers. Geeks and gamers, Jeremy. I'm gonna try to do like things that they necessarily don't talk about, like Game of Thrones and things like that.
Yeah, luckily entertainment's big enough you can. I do want to give a shout out to Lethal.
There's so much out there that you can pretty much cover anything and you'll be fine.
And the thing is also too, it's like, and like if like say you're bottle, like you're in the chat section of one of those channels, and you want to try to just speak it out. Like I want to be that channel. That lets you, I want to try to get a few different people on every week. That it's like, okay, I've been bottled up about The Last Jedi, and I've been chatting it in the chat, but I want to speak it. It's like, here you go, let it out, and then okay, got it out. But hey, you probably have other takes on other kinds of entertainment as well, and then. Like we're finding out, like we're not all just Star Wars fans. We're Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, everything else. And I feel like that's a great way to continue this community between, geeks and gamers, world-class bullshitters, and EVS. And I feel like that it makes us all unique. Like I feel like The Last Jedi borned this entire community.
Oh yeah, it would be the one positive from that terrible film. It spawned.
It spawned all of us.
Pretty much two communities uniting together to mutually despise The Last Jedi. Both comic book fans and Star Wars fans.
I mean, we have Hallmark channel Jeremy in the chat. We have like 100-some Jeremys in there. It spawned that many.
It spawned that group of amazing individuals.
And it brought everyone out. Just like I'm fucking pissed. I'm mad. It's like, I need to speak. I want to talk about it. I love talking to my friends about it, but I feel like I could talk to complete strangers, which I've never met neither of you in person. But I feel like I could, like, if I saw you at the bar tomorrow night, I'd be like, hey, Adam, hell yeah, I got the next drink on me. And DJD, it's like, hey, we'll get shots here, man. Like, it's like,
yeah, for sure, man.
But it's like, but the thing is, like, we have platforms that were introduced by the great channels that we've mentioned to finally express our own opinions and to not be afraid. Like we're open to the public. Like we could get complete criticism, and I'm open to criticism. I love constructive criticism. What if you're gonna,
as long as it's constructive?
Bonus. Even just criticism is trying to bring you down. Like I don't fucking care. Like, bring it on. Like,
but you're old school too.
I'm getting the views young. Bonus. You
like to debate. A good debater, exactly. It could go either way with it.
Pretty much.
Like no puns here intended, but I mean, truly, that's what debating is supposed to be. I have been doing what I do best as a super fan. Lethal Lightning, I'm there all the time. That's why I said I want to give him a shout out. Jason Clark, that's a personal friend of mine. I don't know if Mr. Peabody made it in or not. Hallmark Channel Jeremy, know him as well. You need to get Odin on here at some point. That would be good from Odin's movie blog. Some of the smaller guys that are parts of the bigger channel. We met through World Class.
In the chat, I say if you have Twitter, my Twitter handle, I think it's just @BrandonMoist.
Yep.
Just feel free to add me and feel free to direct message me. I don't care if you direct message me or whatever. Okay, I just saw a quick question pop up here. Odin, or open-minded, said, "What do you prefer, pizza or beer? Maybe chicken tender wings or burger or fries? Hell, maybe all of them. All of them is good, but
All of them.
all of them is very good. But I mean, you can't beat pizza and beer, man. I'm telling you
Yeah.
what, there's nothing like when I say I'm a recent, undergraduate college.
Pizza and beer just combined. So
I'm 1.5
amazing.
years out of undergraduate college or some for my bachelor's degree. So, you got your freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year of college, and you're in southern central Pennsylvania, from where I'm from. There ain't much to do but drink and just go out and like have a
Yeah.
good time. And it's not like you're harming anything. Like I never had any problems with the law or anything. Just went out, had a great time, and then I was just like, I'm fucking hungry. Nothing better than you getting back at your place at like 1 a.m. and you're
Oh
saying,
yeah.
Domino's is still open. I'm ordering that pie. And they have that five
Yep.
$5.99 deal. And
Yeah,
they're
the
like,
$5
I'm
pizza.
getting a sub for tomorrow morning when I'm hungover.
Pretty much.
I gotta say,
That is literally the definition of college right there.
I mean,
They try to BS us all this other stuff. No, it's two things. It's what is your social security number and pizza and beer. That's college, pretty much.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter if you're going to be a lawyer, doctor, whatever the hell. We're all doing the same damn thing.
I mean, hell, I'm still pouring whiskey out of a bottle right now. I just did that right now. I'm moist.
And then you got old guys like me that are more like Belushi and Animal House, that's just
Oh my god! I'm telling you, no, oh my god, super fan Adam Shawhan.
I can't even talk about that on air.
Super fan Adam Shawhan. Do you want to do a Animal House watch party at some point?
Most definitely.
That'd be fun. Yeah,
Animal House. I've said this before, and it's probably changed because I've probably been drunk saying it, but my all-time go-to movies, if I'm wasted and sober, are Armageddon. I can just watch Armageddon all over and over. Animal House, Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Nice. Yeah.
And Interstellar, because if you watch Interstellar right before you go to bed, you're gonna have some fucked up dreams.
Somewhat accurate.
So that's like my go-to.
I also got to throw in Mighty Python. The Meaning of Life is a good one.
You guys fucking love. If you guys want to like Monty Python or Animal House, we need to schedule. We need to do a Animal House live stream or something. Probably after the holidays. Once they're all done, because we're probably going to be busy with everything going on. But
I am always open, but you know, like I said, you know how to get a hold of me. I know how to get a hold of you, and I'm always in DJ D's ear. So, but yeah, we all keep in touch. And looks like Jason watched the Jason Clark got done with the trailer. So if you have questions for him,
all right, checked out the trailer. All right, so Jason Clark, you checked it out. Yeah, all right. Let us know, man. Let us know. Open-minded Pizza also said, "Do you like ranch with that pizza?" I do. I'm a split between garlic and ranch pizza. I enjoy garlic sauce with my pizza, and I also enjoy ranch with my pizza. I don't know. Do you got DJD? Do you have a preference?
Yeah, give me a second. Pretty much, this is due to Pizza Hut in college. This will sound strange as hell, but for the crust, right? The bread when you rip it off,
great crust.
Instead of just eating it straight up. For the pizza, say the pan pizza or Pizza Hut.
Oh yeah.
I at one point, again, college, being fucked up, etc. Chocolate sauce. Some nice chocolate sauce on the pizza crust, when you ripped it off. That's one option. Yeah, another option, completely separate, because of the goddamn hot wings. But, you'd eat the hot wings, and then you'd have some leftover blue cheese sauce.
Okay.
Blue cheese sauce on the damn crust, too. It sounds fucked up, but separately. The blue cheese sauce is on the crust separately, and the chocolate sauce is a whole separate other animal. At different time periods. You don't want to mix that together. God, no.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good
You do not mix those together, but separately, it's weird, but it's not bad. Instead of just throwing away the chocolate sauce or throwing away the blue cheese sauce, there you go. It's a nice pizza crust.
Yeah. Jason Clark said he did see it here. He said, and it looks meh. I am not excited for it. Looks like it was going to be very predictable, like part 1 was. DJD, what do you think on that? But before we do that, Open Minded says, I don't mind Armageddon. I think Bay is too harsh on his own film because of Transformers. Armageddon is just, I'm going to tell you, like, Armageddon's the film, like, you watch it right now and you're just like, I know what's going to come. They're going to save the day. But it's like, it's that movie that you're at the party and that it's just on in the living room. And at any given moment, there's a few people watching it. And then whenever you're trying to get by them to get to the bathroom, you're just like, oh, well, wait. Okay, there's a line. Well, I'll just watch some of this movie. You go to the bathroom, you come back out, like, oh, hell, we're at a good part here. And then you keep going, you go out party, and then you're just like, oh, shit, we're at the end. Oh, this gets intense. That's kind of how I view Armageddon. But back to Avengers. Jason Clark thinks it's meh. In proper terms here. So DJP, what do you think about the meh from Jason Clark here?
It's very understandable. Not many people have said that because you're supposed to say what the rest of the crowd's saying, but some people have had issues with it, including myself. I was like, yeah, I can totally see it. It was just all that hype
from it. Oh my god, I need my bands.
So yeah, expectation level did not meet all the goddamn hype for the trailer, including them postpone. If it was gonna be like this, why the hell did you just postpone it? Yeah. It was just so much like they did. It was stupid.
All right, speaking of being moist, DJ D and Adam Shawhan, can you guys keep talking here? I've got to fucking piss like crazy.
We got you, man. Not a problem.
You're good to go.
This is a good thing of having a pro like DJ D and an assistant like me.
Oh, no, man. I think I've told you before, you can probably do your own show too, man. No problem. Just have the wiener dogs doing tricks. You know, you got a little circus cam going with the wiener dogs, and you just, tell jokes. You'd be good to go.
Hey, man, they're active tonight. You can hear them here and then. Every now and again,
they're in the mood.
Do we have a full moon tonight? For fuck's sake, it seems like it.
Yeah, they're all hyped up for the Avengers trailer.
Yeah, I think they're just happy because we have no tuna box from Captain Marvel on here.
Yeah, no Captain Marvel. No fucking Star Wars teaser that I have to worry about bitching about. God, I hope that doesn't come out anytime soon.
Now, Hallmark Channel, Jeremy, I'm going to out you here. Okay, you like Hawaiian, but on my Hawaiian pizza, I like to have pepperoni with the ham and some black olives and pineapple. So what say you?
That's interesting.
Hallmark Channel, Jeremy.
Some Deadpool blend there. That's what that is.
It's Hawaiian, baby.
A different kind of Hawaiian. Yeah.
That's right.
So moist.
Sometimes a little sausage, too. Depends on the sausage.
Oh. All right. So no, okay. So we're talking pizza toppings here. Okay.
What kind of vehicle do you all drive?
We are all over the place tonight, and I fucking love it. This is exactly what. Is that Jon Snow?
Oh, that was that. Okay, so that was Pumpkin. Jon Snow's in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in Texas. One of our partners in Texas that we do our breeding program with. That's where Jon Snow is. That would be Rudy, and he is playing with Pumpkin. And Rudy is the one that beat the Hulk up that I sent you the picture of.
That is true. So Rudy and Pumpkin, is that like a relationship that we're trying to see with Kylo Ren and Rey? Is it like forced or?
No. So Rudy also came from Texas. He is going to Indianapolis on the 20th. So he's just hanging here with the Wiener Dog Clan. Just chilling out with a bunch of wieners, because that's what happens when you have a Wiener Dog Clan. It's a wiener party 24/7, man.
That's exactly right. All right. So what I'm taking us into now is I'm not afraid to dip into a little bit of politics here. I like to keep it not like let's go
horny Hawaiian.
It's like go Trump 2020 or Bernie 2020. I'm trying to avoid that shit, but I'm not afraid to dip into it because I understand. I'm one that has I worked on Capitol Hill for a few months during the 2016 election when Trump was elected. I was on the Hill. I have political connections that are insiders on the Hill presently. I am. I will say it right now up front. I'm a registered libertarian. I am very moderate on a lot of issues. My big political leanings are based off of foreign policy and national security issues, which is what I study. So I will put that out front right now. I'm not afraid to put that out front right now. I don't because I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what you think about it, about whether it's against me or for me. That's great. I don't care. But because every one of us has our right to our own opinion, and everyone should have that right to their own opinion, with free of scrutiny, and with the right to debate. But if you're just gonna have a bunch of trolls fucking attacking you, that's complete bullshit. Like just fuck off, basically.
Yeah, it's YouTube though. And to every social media thing now. Like you mentioned politics, and that's why, at least on my show, since it's an entertainment show, I keep off it. But I don't mind talking about it ever though. I do mention it regardless once in a while because that's just what's the main thing in the news.
Yeah, so we're here right now. Okay.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk. We're not gonna talk about specific things going on right now.
Yeah,
like
okay.
One thing that I think that we can all appreciate is the passing of George H.W. Bush, and the absolutely heartbreaking tribute done by George W. Bush at the National Cathedral. That was absolutely heartbreaking. He held it together through the whole memorial service, but then whenever he immediately went to whenever he went past, thank you for being like a great president, being a great leader, and whenever he said, thank you for being the best dad that a son and daughter or a son and a daughter could ever ask for, that's whenever he broke down. The fact that he also, his daughter, she died at 3 years old, and then his wife Laura Bush died a year or 7 months ago. So I as a history major, I tribute George H.W. Bush, and I'm glad that he is at home now and he gets to hug Robin and Laura Bush again. And thank you for getting us out of the Cold War with no nukes. That's awesome. Thank you. But
that I can agree with.
Going forward here.
Well, that part.
I'm not afraid to push a little politics in this issue. No, we're not going to get into Trump, Hillary.
Oh God, no! Please don't.
Oh God, no.
We're not getting into Obama birth and shit. We're not getting into that bullshit. But the fact is, when we're gonna put it into context. I'm a big thing about context. Whenever you put politics into context, it makes so much more sense. And what makes me pissed with on the far right and on the far left, they don't take it into context.
Well, the fact they're the same.
Exactly.
They're both extremists.
Yes.
Anybody who took political science for even a second would be like, one of the things they teach you is like, okay, left, right, it doesn't matter. If they're extremists, it's effectively the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it just blurs out the actual message.
Situation. But here's the thing. What I want my channel to kind of stand out upon, and I will closely moderate it. Like I want to have live chats and things, and with you guys, I feel like we can have a great discussion about this. But like if I have different people on, and I probably will in the future, just to have a diverse community, I will moderate it like crazy, because I don't want any hate speech on the right or on the left. I just want a confident discussion. that could bring people together. Because I feel like, here's my take, and then what we will discuss off of this here. What we're seeing in pop culture immediately reflects what we're seeing in Congress and in politics and in political media. We are seeing and I will. All right, I'm going to take.
We're seeing, I think, quote an old movie of there's a serious failure to communicate.
Exactly. It's like we are seeing it's like high level. Okay, so we got Ryan Johnson basically came in here and said, "Hey, we're going to split the country in two. Congratulations. It was already split in two, buddy. You just made it worse." But like, I want to have that platform to debate on pop culture references. So here's the thing. For what I feel like it's okay to have progressive issues being voiced in pop culture. I feel like that's a good thing. That's good for people that are underrepresented. But I also feel like you don't want to do that at the expense of the story, because if you do that at the expense of the story, people that are skeptical or just like the old school, like I hate that, I hate them, they're just going to immediately off-write them for a character that could potentially be good. I feel like you need to have that kind of good experience for everybody here, but but pay homage to what has already been created, whether it's Spider-Man, the Marvel Universe, Star Wars, Star Trek. The precedent has been set, and the thing is that, well, like what we said, we almost had a half-hour conversation about Carrie Fisher earlier. The precedents have been set, and it needs, and I feel like especially the progressive side needs to understand there has been great examples of progressive leaders, as in Princess Leia is what we've seen. And if they try to make the argument, don't keep creating bullshit characters that are flat and dry. Take off of what you've seen in Princess Leia, one of the most progressive characters that we've seen in the late 20th century for women's rights. Build off of that. And the thing is, you have a great fan base that is ready to hop on right behind you, regardless of political feeling. And if you tell the great story, you will probably rally most of those fans behind you, being like, hey, women, they do have a great voice in politics. They probably do know what they're talking about. They fucking kicked ass in the Empire, and they can probably do the same in Congress if they want to. So that's my take on it. So sorry to get political and shit, but I had to just throw that out there. And I feel like
that's getting political, bro. I think you're good.
I feel like it's a good discussion that we can all have.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, I mean, I look at it this way: is it life imitating art, or art imitating life at some point?
No, it's
especially in today.
Right.
Yes. Everything going on today. With DJD and I being a little bit older, and like I said, I've got kids your age, Brandon. So you make me feel kind of old, sir. But it's all good. Yeah, I don't think the way that you're approaching it should offend anyone by any means.
Like I said,
that's what like. Well, that was honestly the big concern for me trying to do a live chat was
most likely the extremist people are going to be the only ones pissed off or mouthy and shit, which is what I get all the time.
I mean, if we want to get into it right now, I will get into it with an article that I read. I'm not going to bring it up, but because it's complete horseshit. I say I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2. DJD or Adam, have you played Red Dead?
Yes, indeed, quite a bit.
All right, no, I don't really game right now. I've seen DJD play.
Yeah.
You've beaten it, DJD.
Yeah. No, I haven't beaten it, not even close.
But you know Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think, god dang, I don't remember.
Charles, he's the
I've been pissed at the game for other reasons because I didn't like how they did the game. So
well, Charles is the mixed African American, Native American.
Okay, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
you need to go. You always go hunting with him because he always has awesome quests.
Yeah, that guy. Yep. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
There was an article that came out against him that said he was blackface and redface.
Wow.
At the same time, and I literally lost my shit.
The dude is playing a pretty actual positive
He
image
but
of how fucking of how Indians are. So I'm like, that's fucked up.
They argued he was not played by an African American Native American. He was just played by an African American.
The fuck?
But
That is retarded. That's
there
retarded.
are not many African American Native American humans out there. And the fact that Red Dead Redemption and Rockstar Games took that initiative to tell that story from that perspective, of which that you have played the game. No, all right, mild spoilers. You are a friend of the Native Americans in the game.
Yeah.
The fact that Rockstar took that perspective is awesome. That's great. Like, you're in a Wild West game, and the fact is, like, the Wild West was not a kind place, especially for Native Americans, and especially just for anyone who wanted to show the fuck up. Like Arthur Morgan or John Marston or fucking Dutch Van der Linde or Micah. It was not a pleasant place for anyone that showed up. But the fact that it took the care to integrate a story of an African American and a Native American, I respect the fuck out of that. That's a story I would never have considered. Even I'm just like, it's either African American.
Yeah, they took a chance and it worked for them. I mean, this is ridiculous.
And the fact, it's like you were bashing a story that this company went out of the way to tell that is not known to many people. Like, there were African American and Native American mix. There are white people and Native American mix. That's where my lineage comes from. There are also African American and white American lineage on the Wild West. It's a complete shit show out there, and also Spanish American.
Everybody pretty much fucked everybody. That's how we get to how America is now. I mean, shit.
The fact that the game went out of its way to tell that story, and you're still getting shit about this. It's like, we are in the goddamn softest fucking corner of American history here.
It's pretty fucking pathetic right now. Yeah, there's no way around that one. Sadly,
you are telling
it's a sad era. At least the perception of it in news media.
Yeah, exactly. And you're telling
news media need to have the balls to say, we're going to stop putting out these bullshit fucking articles that are just clickbait, because the average person doesn't think this fucking way.
No, and the thing is too, it's like,
I mean, fuck.
It's a gay character, or it's a transsexual character, or whatever. If it's a good fucking story, people like us are gonna get behind it. Like,
exactly.
But here's the thing: why do they always got to throw that shit in there too? That's the other thing. Why is it always got to be gay? Why is it always got to be racial? You know, that's the thing that gets me the most. You know what? We're not racist. But you assholes want us to be racist because you're bitching about race. Don't make race the issue. And it's not a fucking issue. That's how simple it can be.
And I can tell you, I'll speak right now. I do Civil War reenacting. So, call me a LARPer or whatever.
Well, clearly you're racist according to them. So just because you do it.
I say right now, I do Confederate. I do 5th Texas.
No, obviously, clearly racist is what they would say.
Exactly. They also would forget that I'm also investing money into a uniform of the 51st Pennsylvania Volunteer Infantry that my great-great-grandfather fought in. They forget that fact.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, I want to represent both sides. And the fact is, like, I do 5th Texas Company F, and I've done vast amount of research into that company.
Yeah.
They were literally the Red Dead Redemption. Like, they had nothing. And they were just told by their government, hey, go fight for us. And they're just like, okay, well, we have nothing else to do. Let's go fight. Oh, well, you're fighting for slavery. It was like, oh, fuck. Oh, okay. Like, they had no idea. And that's complete horror. It's like they literally got thrown into the rich man's war.
Kind of like every war.
And exactly. And that's exactly. It's every war. Mm-hmm. And it's same with my ancestor that was in the 51st Pennsylvania. He gave, like, I'm reading some of his diaries right now. He gave no hell about slavery. He's just like, I just want my family, like, we want to live on this farm. Like, he has all his deeds, all his property things, his property disputes, his property taxes. he's like, I'm trying to provide for my family. Like, you know, I hope slavery goes away sometime and things like that. But he's like, I don't want to die for it or anything. And he ends up getting drafted in. And he fights at fucking Gettysburg and Antietam, two of the bloodiest battles of of what we've ever fought in American history. But the thing is, like, what I feel like we lose today is the context of what's happened, where you have literally most people being like, I fucking don't want to get involved with this shit. Just like us when we were criticizing The Last Jedi, we don't want to do this, but we need to speak up. So, yeah. I mean, I'm a huge history nerd, so I could rant.
Well, there's the thing. Okay, there are so many people that with them rewriting history, and they don't care because they go to Google, and whoever types up the shit in Google, you know, that's where they're going from. Where, you know, DJ and I come from generations where you had to go to this thing called a library, and in said library were these things called books, and inside those books was the knowledge. And Moist, you have the knowledge, but there are so many that don't.
No, that's exactly right.
You know, and it is sad when you get older. We've always heard children are the future, but then you look at the stuff going on today, and once again, it ties into movies. You know, okay, we have a lineage of Star Wars, but it's all been erased and rewrote. Well, what's been going on in the real world is the exact same thing going on in Hollywood. Back in the day, you went to the movies to escape reality, and now you go and you're still getting beat in the face that you, Mr. Moyes, and even the DJD are racists because we're men. We're sexist. We're every kind of ism there is.
Yes.
And we didn't.
And now more than ever, sadly.
And sadly, we're American first. DJD and I, we bonded massively over this. I know his heritage, but the first thing came out of his mouth, I'm an American, this, and this. I'm American, Irish, Indian. I'm a mutt. But hey, I'm American first. And then you get people that, well, 200 years ago, my ancestor was a slave. Pity me. Well, you're a fucking American. Have you picked cotton? No. Why you never owned a slave? Shut the fuck up and hand me my cheeseburger.
Well, and like for me, I am a member of a soon to be member. I know it's coming for Christmas. Member of the Manassas National Battlefield Trust. Like, I want to preserve, like, I live next to the Manassas battlefield. I don't care that it shows where I'm from or where I live. I live next to a Civil War battlefield, Manassas National Battlefield Park. If you're ever there, please go. It's where Stonewall Jackson earned his nickname. Please go, and please donate. And if you don't want to donate to a trust or whatever, donate to me. I will 110% donate it to the battlefield because I don't want any of the money that would go to the battlefield. I want preservation for these battlefields so that people, Americans, even foreigners, can learn. Like, we are. I'm just gonna say we're the greatest nation in the world right now. And the thing is, we have made a fuck ton of mistakes. We need people to learn from those mistakes, whether it's domestically or internationally. And what I feel right now, we're seeing it's the international stage that's learning most of those mistakes, not the domestic. I feel like if the domestic dissidents and everything, people pissed off, they don't want to talk to one another, fucking go to the fields of Gettysburg. One side line up on Cemetery Ridge, one sideline line up on Seminary Ridge. One Confederate, one Union, regardless of who you support. But then whenever you meet at the stone wall, you won't be fucking shooting guns at each other. You will be shaking hands you'll be shaking hands. You'll be crying and being like, why the fuck did we hate each other like this?
Well, yes, that would be normal people that are not on the extremes would do that.
But you will have people,
the extremes would not do that.
They would not do
that. No, they'd bitch about it.
They would bitch about it, and then they'd potentially get in a fight and maybe punch someone in the back of the head like a coward.
And be offended.
But the thing is, you can look at NBC and all this stuff. They have these videos of people like ex-KKK members. Fuck the KKK. But they have ex-KKK members like meeting Black Americans, and they also have like ex neo-Nazis like making truce with like regular progressive Americans, and like people, pretty much every one of us are like, fuck Nazis. Like, it's like, okay, like you can tone it down. Like, you don't need to be like that. Like,
well, here's a funny story for you, just real quick. See, we grew up rather poor and hungry. And when you're poor and hungry, guess what? Fucking race doesn't matter, because guess what? We were all poor and hungry. Black, white, Chinese, Mexican. It didn't matter.
it doesn't matter. No.
Yeah.
You know, and it just seems that doesn't matter. All it is race. The political government we have wants the races at each other's throats. They want the political parties at each other's throats. And in my opinion, it's so that they can duck and dodge and do shady shit that they don't want everybody seeing. Once again, that's just my opinion. Because while we're all at each other's throats and fighting over shit, what are they really doing?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, currently, they're giving emphasis to the extremes, whereas before, you'd mention it in news reports, and then you'd laugh at it and ignore it. And then, you know, since they weren't getting all the hype, they wouldn't grow in size, which is what's happening. They haven't grown much, but the extremists, you know, at least my example for the unicorns or SJWs, NPC, whatever you want to call them, the extremists on the left side, pretty much are the same people that said the Lion King is racist somehow, and the hyenas represent some jive talking, some terrible imagery, and should be taken out of the Lion King. And I'm like, okay, those people during that time when they said that, back in the 90s or when the Lion King came out, people, you know, the journalists would say, oh, look, there's these interesting, weird people that are saying this crap. They didn't quite say it that way, but in effect, that's what the journalists would say publicly on the news show or whatever. And then you'd be like, ha ha, that's nice, they said that. And then everyone would ignore it. And on the flip side of that, on the extremist Nazi side, we're like, they advocate hatred for whatever. More often than not, they'd mention Jewish people, they'd mention black people, et cetera, et cetera. And you'd see that, say, on Geraldo Rivera, and you'd point to the line of it, and you'd make fun of it, and that's it. But people wouldn't, in effect, by doing what they're doing now, emphasizing it so much, you think you're destroying it, but in fact, you're glorifying these very extreme people, and you're giving them free publicity, and then they're growing in ranks. And that's not what you want. That's what journalists with a brain did for the longest time. They'd mention it, then they'd poke fun at it, and then it was over. Walter Cronkite, for example. All the classic good journalists would not do what they're doing now.
They let it go, and then whichever side wanted to spin it for whatever it was, that was their own side's fault. So, and this is the thing. This is what I want this stream. I don't want to get like, you know, Bernie 2020 or Trump 2020. I don't want to get that, none of that shit on this stream. But I want to open my stream to have the debate, especially on pop culture, mainly 99% on pop culture, like what's going on and what we've seen. Because the thing is, what I will say it, and I know a lot of the streams that we've watched, you know, WC with World Class, EVS mainly. I mean, he acknowledges it, especially in Geeks and Gamers. But like politics, what we're seeing in entertainment is directly affecting entertainment. What we're seeing, and I will say that we are seeing the same things in politics.
Yeah.
And I am not afraid to embrace it, and I am not afraid to embrace debate on this channel. And I will debate it. I'll debate it myself. I'm very moderate. I mean, on social issues, I'm liberal. Like if a gay,
they're pretty much same here, Ben.
The thing is, I feel like it's all of us. Like if a gay person needs to be represented, like if they are represented, that's awesome. They should have that representation. And but like if you're gonna, but also how I feel, if you're gonna force it on people, probably not the best way. Just throw it in subliminally. Like throw it in like what we've seen, like Saving Private Ryan. Like no, I'm not saying just gay things here, but like just throwing it in on like various social media platforms or mainstream media platforms, throwing it in subliminally. That's the way to do it, because then people won't make a big deal about it. Be like, oh, hey, well, we don't give a fuck what you're at. Like, hey, you're a big fan of this film. don't give two shits. Hey, what do you got to say about it? You won't people won't think about it more. And the fact that when you make people think about things more than what they need to, that's when the fucking problems arise. And that's when shit hits the fucking fan.
Well, that's when they get just a little cranky and they might turn into Betty White if they don't get their Snickers bar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean,
had to tell this story.
We got Tyler, we got Tyler Adams. Tatum, are you here? You're muted.
No, he's on now.
All right, here we go.
Am I low?
If I can,
Hi there.
So,
no, you're good.
Hello, humans of the interwebs. How are you doing today?
Hi. Yeah.
All right, everyone in the chat section here, I'd like to welcome on a best friend of mine who will be the best man at my wedding someday. It is the stick figure, the Tad, the tech, the man. It's Tad, the tech man. Tad, the tech man. Get people on here. Tell me what you're about, and just let everyone know why you're here.
Well, basically, I'm here because you invited me to be on.
That is a great point. All right, fucking Tad, tell everyone what you're about, because you have some great tech videos that you have, and you have a few that have a couple thousand videos that I feel like you could probably, you could bounce off of those here. I say Tyler, he does know he's. Like I
I'm
said,
very knowledgeable whenever it comes to video games. That's, I feel like, the one thing that I am usually more knowledgeable about than movies and TV or whatever.
Exponentially.
I like making tech review product videos on YouTube. Not any big YouTuber or anything like that, obviously, but I enjoy doing it. Getting that affiliate links out there and shit. But yeah.
Well, here we go. DJD Adam Shawhan. So I'm gonna say my best friend Tyler's in here right now. So what would you guys like want to ask him about, like with Star Wars or just Avengers, things like that? Like he's like up to date with like the text or with the pop culture stuff. But feel free to ask him anything. Like I'd love to, my best friend Tyler. I mean, we got to get him involved here, man. So.
I will try to give as good as responses as I can. I have been out of this scene for a good many years, about 4. Not used to this podcast and nonsense. So we'll see. I used to stream on Twitch a lot. Okay, sorry.
Well, I'm old and just getting into all this stuff, so hey, giggity.
Yes, pretty much.
Wait, how old is everyone here?
I'm 24.
I am 24.
DJ is like 9,000 years old.
Over 9,000.
Over 9,000.
Yes.
We got some Dragon Ball Z references there.
That's right.
He's half vampire, half werewolf. So
all right. So to get stick. All right. So Tad the Tech Man here.
I feel like I need some beers for this. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not drinking? We've been drinking all the time.
I got water.
Yeah, some Force Lightning beer, definitely.
Well, if you were near the beer house, but beer house, local joke. But Tad, so we talked about this earlier in on the stream here. We were talking about our first experiences with The Last Jedi. Say Adam Shawhan and DJD gave us, and myself gave us, our first reactions with The Last Jedi. If you want to give us, what did you feel going into it, and then why you're watching it, and then what came out of it? And feel free to go into as much detail as you want to. Let us know what you felt about it.
Man, I just remembered. Hey, thank you so much for the sub there, Frank. Really do appreciate that. But, and Adam as well. I really do appreciate that.
You're welcome.
But yeah, so whenever I was going into The Last Jedi, I was so pumped because I gotta be honest here. I understand there's some people here who don't have the most positive thoughts whenever it comes to The Force Awakens, but I overall thought it was a fairly good Star Wars movie. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. Obviously, like we fucking saw with the fucking Last Jedi, because that is the worst piece of trash I've ever witnessed in my life. I don't know what they were thinking, but yeah, going into that movie, like I was so hyped because like it was supposed to be a darker Star Wars movie.
No,
And
exactly. That's exactly right.
Yeah, we got a different kind of dark. That's for
yeah,
sure.
we got like some fucking social justice warrior bullshit. Like
We got the dark meat.
We were going for moist meat. We didn't get any of that shit.
no, we got like fucking dry meat.
meat,
Literally,
man.
literally
the,
no.
the meat was definitely not moist. That's for sure.
No, and everybody knows that, you know, the moist meat is like the best part of the turkey, okay? I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah,
The
that's
best part of
definitely
the
the one
pork,
you
man.
want. You don't want that dry. Nobody wants
No.
that dry.
We want
No.
moist pork nuggets.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But no, like, you know, all the commercials and all the trailers and everything leading up to The Last Jedi, I thought that it was going to be, I thought it was going to be a darker movie because that is the way that I feel like they marketed that movie to be. It was supposed to be,
Yeah.
you know, the fall of the Jedi, basically, even though that was like, you know, episode 3. But like, I don't know. I don't understand how they fucked this movie up so bad.
Well, and also I feel like both you and I have talked about this numerous times. It was like, okay, it's a fall of the Jedi, but like what, like, okay,
Or I guess they should have said the last of the Jedi.
the last of the Jedi. It's like we saw the last of the Jedi in episode 3. Like they were all killed, and then they were hunted down. Like, oh my god. And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, this is the last of the Jedi. We got Luke apparently Luke Skywalker is going to be it, okay. And then we're gonna have this hopeful presentation of him, and then we have just been deflated watching the movie.
Right. And like I'll never forget, like I will never forget this moment for as long as I live. I remember walking into the movie theater, sitting down and watching the movie and seeing what was on screen, and then just there was like quite a bit of people in my movie theater whenever I saw this, and like it was a small local theater. And at the end of it, everyone just started clapping.
Were you at Miller Cinema 6?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
And there was even some people standing up at the end of it, not because they were like leaving, but like they were like standing up applauding. And like I'm just looking back at me and I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? This is like the worst Star Wars movie that was ever made. I don't get it. Like I don't understand, dude.
But no, and it's like what I had said to you. Like, I mean, I feel like whenever we talked after we saw the movie, I at first I was like, oh my god, this movie is awesome. Like, I saw it in IMAX. I'm like, this is wild. Like but whenever you visually look at the movie, and I saw it in IMAX, I'm like, holy shit, that's incredible. But then after, and it was exactly like after I'd saw it a couple times, I just kind of like was quiet, like. I don't know. I didn't text you about it anymore. I didn't talk to you about it anymore. I was just like, hey, what's going on here? And then so Soylo came out, and I was telling you, hey, Soylo, and we saw Soylo, which what we agree on was an okay movie. Like,
yeah, it's an okay movie.
It was good. It was like it was fun. It was it was just an entertaining movie. Like, we see it on a Sunday night, we're gonna watch it probably. But like, it was nowhere near the level of like, the Star Wars. But going forward, like I feel like we had that good camaraderie where we could be like, oh shit, but like let's make the most out of it.
Right.
So
Too drunk to drive anywhere else. We're watching it. And I lost the TV remote. Oh well, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, basically. And this goes, I came in here whenever you guys were talking about politics, like running into like entertainment sort of stuff. And
yeah,
I agree that like politics are making their way more so into entertainment, because I was actually just having a conversation with my girlfriend tonight before I actually got on here, and we were talking about the same thing. And I want to know why. Besides like money, I want to know why. Because I have a feeling that like whenever, like say tomorrow, that all this stuff just went away and no one like the news outlets and everything like that stopped talking about social issues, would we really see it in entertainment anymore? I don't think we would.
No, I don't think we would either.
I think Hollywood's out of ideas. That's the biggest issue, and we've had that.
Well, they've
on
had that
for
problem
quite
for
a while.
decades.
Yeah. I mean,
True.
it's been a remake of a remake of a remake. There's been so many remakes that you get used to doing nothing but remakes, and then they remake the remake, the remake. You know,
it's also in their minds cheaper to do this than have original.
Yeah, because they already
properties made.
You know, they own the property and all that. I'm going to guess that
rehash footage.
You're going to be about the same age as Mr. Moist, then, correct, Tad?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. So yeah. So that's the thing. DJD and I are, I'm from the 70s. So we've been older than you guys. I got kids your age. It's all good, man.
Right.
And DJD and I are closer in age, so we've had many discussions.
From the 70s AD.
Yep. AD. That's right.
Exactly.
BC AD.
BC AD. All right, fine. It's BC. I was.
but yeah, we've seen a lot of stuff you guys haven't, but it's always good to have younger guys like you that are educated and not worthless pieces of shit that just fall down the rabbit hole continuously. But yeah, I mean, we've seen this happen, generation after generation, and it gets worse and worse and worse. Like we were saying earlier, is it life imitating art or art imitating life at this point? And then what's the end game? No pun intended. I've said that for years now. You beat us over the head because the fact, Moist and I have white in us. Of course, we're the racists here, and they hate DJD because he's, plastered white, being an albino.
Well, I mean, Facebook doesn't let me use my actual last name, Moist. So
yeah,
that's a thing. So.
But I mean, it's just one of those things. Like I said, we're all American first here, and we're all people, and that's how it should be. But unfortunately, they don't want that, And like I said earlier, that was my whole thought.
Into their mold, so they call me everything under the damn sun, racist, sexist, et cetera, and I'm like, yay. I was called that the other day. Enjoy it. Next insult. At this point, I just ignore them, laugh at them, and if they're stupid enough to come on my chat, specifically laugh at them because you're making yourself a public figure on my show. So enjoy the roasting, dickhead.
Like I've never. I mean, obviously this is my first live stream or whatever, but I don't feel like I'll have that problem. I mean, I feel like
you don't have that problem yet. Enjoy. Hell, Jeff has even got that problem. If you've noticed in world class, yeah.
If they want to come at me, I have a degree from a top 10 school in international relations. Like, come at me. I'll tell them to fuck off. Like, but the thing is, it's like I want to focus this on entertainment, and like I feel like what we've been talking about and stuff. Like we've seen a shift in the game to being just it's become so political. So if you could take one franchise, not counting Star Wars, no Star Wars. Star Wars, so we're gonna get the juices flowing, get the CTE flowing here. If you could introduce a franchise that has already been established, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, things like that.
Oh, I got one for you.
Back to the Future, Star Trek, or whatever, that has never been influenced by political influences. What would you do? So I'm going to start with DJD, then I'm going to go stick figure, Tad, and then I'm going to go Adam Shawhan. Go.
Well, there's a few I would probably do, but one of them, since you just mentioned it, and it's been a bit of a hot topic issue recently for no good reason, even though it was never the intention, to my knowledge, of Tolkien to do this. It was to make it Tolkien was it's fantasy, it's fun. He never wanted to make it, really. It's about how war was terrible and shit. But again, still fantasy elements. There's one thing how the line The Witch in the Wardrobe did things in that book versus how Tolkien did it in Lord of the Rings. Again, not meant to be political, meant to be fantasy, meant to be fun. He was not trying to say, oh, these things are like those things. No, it bloody wasn't. He says it himself because he had critics at the time being dicks with him saying, oh, the orcs obviously represent this. And he's like, no, they don't represent shit. Orcs are orcs, man. Stop being a little bitch ass. Orcs be orcs. That's it. And so from there, I would like to say I'd like to, if he was still alive, or family member of his wanted to do it, not a spin-off, not a remake, none of that shit, but more like continuing what would have occurred after the Lord of the Rings is done, after all that's done. The landscape, it's like what ends up happening to the elves and the hobbits and stuff in the future. It's like, do they develop into something else in the future? This was kind of hinted at and touched up on with the Lord of the Rings animated stuff, right? With after Return of the King, they kind of hint that the hobbits eventually become some kind of human, or the humans become something. I don't know. You'd have to go see the animated movie to get what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, all right.
But they hinted that, so not quite that the hobbits evolve into something else, but some interesting storytelling considering elves and everything. I would like to see it continue in some form.
I do agree with that with the elves. Stick figure, Tad, the tech man. There you go.
All right, so don't hate me, but what are we talking about?
If you had to take a Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
I know. I was gonna say. I know you're hanging out with your girlfriend right now, so a shout out to you. So no, like if you had to take like a hot take on entertainment medium right now, how would you take it, and like what would you like propose, or just like what would you put out there right now, like Red Dead Redemption, or like GTA 6, or like EA Battlefront? Don't avoid that shit. But like, if you were putting out a game medium or just like a story right now, what would you go for?
I don't even know. I literally don't even know. I don't have any input. I'm sorry.
I honestly don't.
I don't have any input, honestly. Like, I really don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay, so what would you look for? So, okay, so say you're going into a politically woke game. What are you going in for? Looking at, be like, okay, the action looked good, or the story, might be all right. Okay, so it's like, regardless of political affiliation or social morality, whatever. It looks fun. What are you looking for in that game?
I just wanted to. I really don't understand this question. I'm so sorry. I do not understand.
Okay, so like you have a game. Okay, so there's a game, and it's very progressive, right and or left. What are you going into that game looking for?
I mean, I would expect it to be fun, first of all, in the gameplay aspect. I don't think that, a lot of I think one thing that we see a lot in video games these days is the fact that they kind of like play themselves as if they were movies. I just feel like
more so than not. Like, there are some games that can, but most that can't.
I don't know about that, because like I just feel like
this is what we're looking for, Tad. This is what we're looking for.
I don't even know. Like, that's such a hard question. What the fuck? Next.
He says
Keep
pass.
Keep it rolling.
Keep talking, man. This is what we need.
I don't know. Like, I just like I don't know. Like, I just feel like a lot of games, like, they want to appeal to the broadest audience possible, so they made that game to be as accessible as possible. So they make cutscenes and mechanics that appeal to people who don't typically play games to get them into the door.
All right, so from here, what you just said. So Adam Shawhan, you're retired. You may not play as many video games as all of us here. What would make you want to play a video game and like get you so invested into a story that maybe it might make you shed a tear. It might make you just be like, oh my God, that was a fucking great story.
All right. Well, it's not that I don't play. It's that I can't. I had with the disability, I've had surgery, so I'm just getting my right hand back. So I'm literally doing all this with one eye and one hand.
Oh my God. I not know that. I am
so literally what we're saying is Adam Shawhan is a pirate.
That's right. Pirate, sir. Pirate. Now, now to answer your question on the video game, I'm excited. Sorry about that. About the new Spider-Man game. That looks really fun. I've seen Lethal Lightning play it. It looked fun. Red Dead, I enjoyed the Red Dead Zombie.
Play it quite a bit, and it was fun. So,
so I've had the pleasure of watching these wonderful gentlemen play these kick-ass games. Now, last night I saw Jeff playing the Smash Brothers game, and that looks a lot of fun. But
that looks badass. Yeah.
The game I want is going to be the last Star Wars games were fun, and for the life of me, I cannot think of the name of them. But those were fun. Or the old DBZ games were really, really fun. The Tahenchi games, PS2 era.
PS2. Oh boy.
Wait, what do you mean whenever you say the last like Star Wars games?
I'm referring
the most recent ones that weren't crap is my guess. So the ones from LucasArts, not the garbage Disney or EA has put out.
You know what? We could talk about those
with Star Killer in them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I forgot the names, man. I'm sorry. I'm old. Shit happens.
It's okay. Are you talking about like Starfighter and like pod racing and stuff like that?
No. No, the clone. For the life of me, I can't think of the name of the game.
Yo, that reminds me. Have you guys ever played that Star Wars game?
Oh, we almost said at the same time. Yeah, Empires at War. Is it the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
With I thought it had Star Killer in it, but anyway, no, you run through and you're a Jedi with double blades.
Oh, okay, so that would be the Star Killer series. The problem with those games, the bugs. It was too goddamn buggy.
Right, but that would make me excited. Give me some new ones like that.
Fun game in concept, aside from all the bugginess, sadly.
Yep. And then as for a movie, like DJ was talking about, I'd want to see either like Highlander, or unfortunately we're getting it coming up soon, is Terminator.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the Terminator film because of the people involved, but it has, again, kind of like the shank that was the Captain Marvel first trailer. They shanked with those publicity photos. There's nowhere those publicity photos were terrible for Terminator, but if you see the behind-the-scenes making of photos with Schwarzenegger and Sarah Connor, those look so much better. That should have been the publicity photos. That again. Dumbass marketing and advertising team.
Yeah, that could have been better choices.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna go off of a little bit of pop culture references here. We're gonna go on to holiday preferences here. We're gonna go on to are you
the Force Unleashed, by the way. That's what I was talking
about.
Yo, The Force Unleashed was such a damn good game. I don't care what anybody says.
Did we just get me off my high horse, Dick, talking about Force Unleashed? And if we did, I'm completely okay with that because The Force Unleashed was a fucking good game. So
that's why I would say something along those lines because I enjoyed. Those are the last ones that I had played, and those were fun. So, like I said, guys, sorry I had to Google it. It'd been a while. It had Star Killer in it. But yeah, that's they had 1 and 2, and I had those, and those were a freaking blast.
Adam Shawhan, the Moist, blesses your choices.
Well, thank you, Mr. Moist.
Thank you. But please continue.
I never played this.
I didn't mean to stop you. I just
no, it's okay. I never played the second one, so I don't really know exactly how they ended the series on that. But I just remember the first one, like it was just fun to play. Like the mechanics, like I feel like the lightsaber like mechanics and the way everything, like the movement and everything, just it works so well. But the story was pretty good as well. So I don't know.
If we also want to for the all the lay seekers out here, just to take appreciation for Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront 1. Went to PS1, maybe Xbox 360. I remember a stick figure and I here, Tad the Tech Man. We had a lot of big high frictional moments that went on. We were down about 200 to 3 to the droid army, and we fucking pulled out Naboo. So if you've enjoyed some kind of like battle royale things that have gone on against the droid army or the clone army or whatever, please let us know. Stick, I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about, man.
With Battlefront 1 or 2?
Yeah, either one. Whenever like we were trying to defend, where it's like 2 of us left, and then we're trying.
Man,
Not the remake though. You're talking about the OG, right?
Yeah, the OG ones.
Yeah, the OG ones were fun.
Yeah. It's like, oh fuck. It's like we thought we had the right loadout, and then we're like, oh shit, there's so many people coming.
I think Knights of the Old Republic were also fun if that was a game. I think it was. I remember one of my kids playing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was amazing.
Yeah.
They did a tremendous job.
If I want those Star Wars games back.
Well, we're going to get them in movie edition, theoretically, with the Game of Thrones directors. Pretty much in a couple of years, hopefully, that they do a good job of it.
Have you guys heard anything about like this new Star Wars game that EA is working on? Have you guys heard anything about that?
No,
pretty much it's going to be open world.
Are you on? What's going on?
Yeah.
Well, see, that one got canceled. That was in development by Visceral Games, and they closed that studio. That one was
I'm talking about the one. Okay, pretty much they're going to put a game out, I believe, in the next couple of years. There's a game after that game that's pretty much ripping off all that content about the one you're talking about, Visceral, putting it into that game, and then that's going to be open world and probably pay to win, monetize the hell and back.
Yeah.
Disney's loving that one.
Yeah, that's supposed to be like, I heard like their like Destiny like game or something like that. Like,
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I've been covering it on my channel for a while, on and off, whenever any tidbit of news comes out about it, because I'm waiting with anticipation to shit all over it because they're probably going to shank it.
Right.
I'm going to make fun of that one as much as I have both Star Wars Battlefronts games. I've been straight up pissed off about the second one. The first one I actually bought for $5 eventually, and it wasn't too bad. But when you compare that to how good the original Star Wars Battlefronts games were and how fun those games were, you go, well, this is garbage.
Yeah.
It's just sad.
Yeah. But like this new, like they have another one, I guess, in development. It's by the people who made Titanfall. If you are familiar with that game, they're Respawn. The people
who know what they're doing more often than not. Yep.
Yeah, it's the people or the person who made like MW2 and all those.
Now they might have quit already, so I don't know. I'd have to go check because that's another problem they're having. They keep hiring these people who know what they're doing, and then they want to force them to do it a certain way. And then these people are saying, "No, screw you! I can go get a job that pays about the same as another studio." And they're having that problem over and over again. So, it's not pretty.
I know, but apparently, it's about like the fall of the Jedi Order. And it's like,
it's a Fallen Order game.
Place like in between 3 and 4. I guess I heard, and I don't know. I really don't feel like that game is going to suck. There is no way that game can suck. Like with EA,
they'll find a way. They'll find a way.
They will find a way, but like they will find a way, but like I just feel like they can't afford to.
No, they do it all the time. I mean, if you see the Marvel Comics issue right now, they don't care. As long as it's not the movies division, they don't care if it's a complete, utter failure. Especially because they'll just tax write it off for some other thing.
That's true.
So video game land, it's been one failure after another with Disney lately. If they do it yet again, either try to money transaction it to death with loot boxes, or they try to make it too far away from the actual subject matter. It's like, it's supposed to be about Star Wars. It should be about Star Wars, not about magical unicorns and rainbows and every single crystal on the planet to make your lightsaber whatever color you want it to be, and flowing dresses. So we'll see what ends up actually happening with the game.
Right.
So all right, so this all warms my heart, and I love that this is fucking going on right now. I'm gonna try to start wrapping it up here. We're
Cool.
we're past 11 o'clock here. I'm just gonna pass it off here to Adam Shawhan, and then Stick Figure, and then DJD Show, and then I'll wrap it up myself. But everything that you want to say, I don't care. We'll stay on till 1 or 2 a.m. If you need to rant, please rant, and we will be here for said rant. And then take it away, super fan Adam Shawhan. Start out the end of the Moist Cast inaugural. Let's go.
I would like to thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. I do not have a rant. Sorry. Normally I would, but I have to get up and go to work in a couple hours.
Please just make one up right now.
I feel that this entire tuna box problem with Captain Marvel has got to come to an end. We do not want Ray's tuna box, and we do not want Captain Marvel's tuna box. Tuna box, bad.
This is what we're looking for. Good job. Good job. All right. Please stay on with us before we head out here.
Oh yeah, I'm not going anywhere, but I do want to thank you a lot for allowing me to be a part of this. It's awesome, and may the moist be with you all. I've had a blast promoting y'all all week long since you told me about it, and it is an honor to be here, sir.
I have to say, honestly, thank you. Thank you for everything you've done. Like hashtag Feel the Moist. That has been awesome. I'm more than happy to welcome you on to any other stream that I have. So please feel free to stay on here while we usher out the rest of our fans here. So DJD and Stick Figure, you guys want to let's all get you guys out here on a proper note and give you all last takes. Go. One take over. Don't care who.
You can go, Stick.
Alrighty. Well, if I had a rant, it would be that I really wish, Disney would be a little bit more responsible with the Star Wars franchise and the games department. Really do feel like they should hand over that franchise to a more responsible developer rather than EA.
Tad,
definitely go.
How they can reach you. They
should reach me on Twitter at Tad the Tech Man. And that's all I really have. I have Instagram, Tad the Tech Man 01, but I don't really post there.
That's
I'm more active on Twitter.
TAD the Tech TECK man.
Yes. Just like my username.
And sub to his channel.
And absolutely. Sub to the channel. And DJD, last thoughts here.
I sense much fear in those out there right now. Currently, I feel that they're gonna shank Yoda and they're just gonna shove him in episode 9, and for no good reason. I'm sure Yoda, because they're doing so much amazing stuff going between the quantum zone or whatever the hell it's called in freaking the next Avengers film. Avengers Endgame. I'm sure Yoda will just, be like, oh, wait, I'm supposed to be in episode 9. Why am I in this Avengers movie? Who the hell's this guy with a mask? Why does that Viking Nordic jackass always have his chest out? There's presenting nipples everywhere. Put a shirt on, Thor. This is going too far. Don't make me bring down the Force lightning bolt storm upon y'all. And as for you amazing person, Captain Marvel, shut up and make me a sandwich. Come on, just go do it. I don't care. You're not going to go one-shot Thanos. It should be Iron Man that does it, or Thor actually not miss the head this time and actually whack his ass. So there you go. And the fun part of all this is I just threw Yoda in there. Hey, go have fun with the Avengers because we don't need Yoda saving the day in episode 9 for no good reason. So, but I'm back, and so is every other Force bad guy. Yeah, Snoke's gonna be alive. You're gonna have a little Palpatine, maybe a little leathery burnt bacon, terrible smelling Darth Vader. All the fun's gonna be had between episode 9 and Avengers Endgame. God, what a shit title that is. You couldn't make it cool. You're just gonna rip off, oh, Doctor Strange said it. We couldn't figure anything else that might be cool. So, yep, Endgame. Screw it. That's the title. Enjoy. Oh, we lied about it for a year. So, obviously, there's a little Sith blood in them fun people. The Russo brothers, you flaming douchebags. God dang, lying sons of bitches. Oh, they did it for a good reason. Did Kevin Feige make that terrible Captain Marvel film for a good reason? Oh, we have to appease the feminists. Yeah. All right, it's a throwaway movie. Screw it. Let's do that one. And then be done with it. Because obviously, if you see the Endgame trailer, it seems like they're not going to emphasize the her. I'm going to wait about 10 minutes. Oh, there's the O, the her. So good, back to normal Avengers and Marvel films. So there's some hope at Disney, unlike episode 9 with the goddamn space horses and sand everywhere, which does not allow the moisture or the fun. That's about all I got.
Moist, we shall.
We need the moist.
The stream.
Yeah, may the moist be with you.
Legendary DJ D show with one hell of a fucking closeout. That was wild. But, thank you all for joining on the Moist Show. Thank you for joining on the inaugural Moist Cast. Thank you for joining the proper Jeremy, the DJ D Show, and superfan Adam Shawhan, and at the Ad Techman Tyler Adams. Thank you for joining me on my channel, and I shall join you soon with the moist. Moist out, but may the moist be with you.